Hello, everyone. Welcome to the all-new episode of an Anination Podcast. For those who are watching in the audience, we're just warming up here, getting ourselves ready for tonight's podcast. Big topics to talk about, especially our continuation from Cinemacon. As you guys noticed, yes, we did leave early. I did have an emergency that happened, but we'll explain that later in the podcast.
Yeah, so there was still so much to talk about in terms of Cinemacon, so we decided to split it to two parts. So this will be part two. So get ready for more announcements from that Cinemacon coming your way.
There we go. And again, a lot more big announcements. I mean, some of you guys are probably into Big City Greens, so we're gonna do a little bit of an episode review of the latest episodes of Big City Greens. Plus, we haven't talked about this in a while, but we need to talk about the art book of Amphibia because that's
oh yeah, that has been
huge.
so hyped.
That is huge.
That is so hyped for many reasons, not just about by its Amphibia, but it also opens doors to future books based on Disney TV shows.
Although we, like I said, there's a lot more books that are coming out. Book of Bill. I mean, that's coming out earlier than the art book of Amphibia.
Yeah, between this and Book of Bill, I'm anticipating for. Hopefully, there's an Owl House book of some kind.
I don't know.
Whether it be art book or graphic novel or whatever.
Here's my thing. Like, when MomoCon happens in May, which, to be fair, we need to do an episode of, like, us talking about the conventions coming up. Like, we have MomoCon, Fanime, Sake Anime, Anime Expo. Like, we have to talk about those conventions coming up. It is the summer of cons, and we're back to normal now, so...
I can only go to one out of the four.
Doesn't matter. We have to discuss all the conventions that are going to be coming up, so...
Cool, I'll bring up the fact that I've never been to Anime Expo still.
Okay. I went there last year. I don't think you want to go this year.
So, yeah, my discussion about anime conventions is going to be much more brief than his, just letting you know.
It doesn't matter. I mean, I will bring out the guest star. Let's talk more about that later. It's going to be in a future episode. But anyways, for those who are listening, we will see you guys in a bit. Enjoy the music while we can. But yeah, it's another new episode. It's every Wednesday here.
Yes.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to an all-new episode of the Anination Podcast. My name is Nate. Omid's here on my right. It's the same old usual folks that are here for the Anination Podcast.
What is up, Anination crew? How y'all doing? I hope y'all are having a very nice time, and hope you're all having a good spring, especially since summer is on its way. Specifically, more so about a month from now. So get yourselves ready for hot weather.
May is the beginning of summer. Would you say? I would say like Memorial Day would be like the start of the summertime.
Oh yeah. Yes, it most certainly is. So, yeah, if you're a springtime lover, if you're a spring kind of guy, then enjoy it while it lasts.
But to be fair, I kind of don't like the spring just because it's allergy season too. I've been seeing a lot of folks just starting to sneeze everywhere. So it's like, you're not affected with the allergies, are you?
Yeah, but no. Like springtime, while springtime is allergy season, springtime is also a nice time for a good amount of holidays. They got Easter,
Well, to be fair, Easter is only celebrated on Sunday. We don't really have like an Easter break in the weekday or anything.
Not anymore, sadly.
Well, Easter always has been on a Sunday, though. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I remember spring break.
Now yeah, but that was like in high school and elementary.
Break,
hello. Even I don't even know if you had like a spring break in college or anything.
We did.
Oh, okay. I think we did too, but I just may have forgotten or something. But yeah.
But yeah, springtime is definitely it's definitely quite a good holiday to have, especially when you're to like the moderate kind of weather, like between hot and cold.
Okay.
The problem is that spring can't tend to be like bipolar weather. It's like sometimes it's hot and some days, other times it's cold days.
Today has been cold, by the way. Like overcast everywhere, even though it was like sunny Monday.
I remember there have been some hot days here and there, but they take place during the weekdays. I'm just like, where's that hot weather on the weekends?
Yeah, well, I mean, I kind of do want the hot weather, but I don't like the very hot weather where it's like goes over 100 degrees and that kind of stuff. I don't want that.
Yeah, but if you don't want that, then brace yourself for July then.
Yeah, July's got to be like a freaking intense heat. I feel bad for my friends who like live in Las Vegas because they had to go through that. So yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, dude, I do wish my brother. Hopefully he will stay cool during that day. So during that month. So
okay, yeah. Well, again, this is early to call right now, but yeah. Anyways, yeah. Let's actually catch up. Well, I have to say this. Friday of last week, I was so devastated because remember I was talking about a certain basketball team that made it all the way to the 8 seed matchup and they lost. So yeah.
Karma.
Yeah, Sacramento Kings actually lost. And well, it kind of sucks because like me and my roommate Mark, we both watched the game, and then we were just saddened in the fact that like we can't even beat them. We were actually in the lead in the first quarter, and then they just started to like blow away from there.
You've joined my team in the grave. We can be losers together. So
is that like a good thing or a bad thing?
We're losers, baby.
Why are you even enjoying that?
And I ain't enjoying it. I'm just saying the fact of how it's kind of ironic considering how, you were kind of rubbing in my face when you got my team eliminated. So now you're getting to taste your own medicine. So
I guess so.
Poetic justice. It's called poetic justice.
You know what, though? We had a great season. I don't know what happened in the last couple of games for Sacramento Kings, but yeah, that was a big bummer. That was a huge bummer.
Now we don't have a particular team to root for.
No, but you know what? I'm still watching the playoffs, if anything. Like, me and Mark have watched, like every night, we have watched the night game. So, like, last night was, like, the Mavericks and the Clippers. That was a really fun game. We watched the Lakers and the Nuggets game. And did you see that last-second shot that Jamal Murray shot? Yeah. So, the Nuggets are a really fun team to watch.
I mean, go Thunder, I guess. But even at that, if they do get eliminated, I won't lose any sleep.
It doesn't matter, but either way, I mean, like, it's still something to watch because, like, there's no other sports until football. Mm-hmm. Speaking of which, NFL draft is tomorrow.
NFL draft is tomorrow. Yeah. Hopefully, we get some of our best players in the silver and black team.
Who do you want? Like, what position do you want as your for your team? I would imagine quarterback.
Quarterback definitely. Like, quarterback should be number one priority.
Number one priority, for us, maybe the quarterback because we still suck with defending wide receivers.
Yeah, we clearly saw in the Super Bowl.
Hopefully we don't trade Ayuk. Please don't trade Ayuk. Keep him in our team, please. Sign him a big contract, please.
Yeah, your defense in that Super Bowl game was not the strongest.
Well, because it was like overtime and everybody was tired, so it's like, you can't really do much about it. It's just that you have to defend Mahomes.
Yeah, that was your title to win, and I was rooting for you guys, like I said. So
yeah, because the Chiefs were your enemies.
The Chiefs were my enemies, and plus, this was your title to get because you've been waiting 3 decades for this. You were hungry for that Super Bowl title.
But I know. We've had like 3 straight. We had 3 chances to get a Super Bowl, and we just ended up losing those last 3.
You got you got robbed, bro.
And 47 and 54, now 58, hopefully 59, or hopefully 60, because we come back to the Bay for 60. So
yeah, see, if you won in Super Bowl 60, that would definitely mean something.
Yeah. And if the Niners make it to the 60, I would imagine they'll win it. So that would be something great. Yeah. But
and plus also quest for 6 on Super Bowl 60. So 6 will be
it
quite
sounds
a magic
fitting.
number.
Okay. Maybe I should probably put some money down for the Niners in 60.
$60.
Oh,
you put out $60.
Whatever. But yeah, Friday was a big bummer just because of that. And we also talked about if you haven't noticed, I also did go on a podcast. I'm on a podcast called the Cinemacon blog. And we were actually ranking waifus. And I actually did put up Charlie Morningstar as one of our waifus.
Really?
And apparently she ended up being like a B tier waifu. And I'm like, are you kidding me, guys? Granted, there are other waifus that were there, like Asuka Langley from Evangelion. There's some big good ones. Shoot, I forgot the name of them. But I also did bring up like other big time name anime girls. So yeah, there's that. Go check it out. Listen to it on all podcast networks. Cinemacon Blogcast. That is the name of my another podcast that I'm in. So check it out, please.
Yeah. So this guy is not 1 but 2 podcasts altogether. So
yeah, I'm pretty much trying to be an entertainer, if anything. Maybe the convention days are over. I have to go back into actually podcasting now.
Yeah.
And then Saturday obviously was your big day.
Yes. It was my birthday celebration with my lovely friends, including yourself.
We went to Gen Korean barbecue for that special day. That was a really fun time.
Yeah.
It kind of did suck that nobody else wanted to watch the Spy Family movie.
I know, except for you, me, and this other friend Jess. I was like, because for one thing, I actually thought that like Gen Korean barbecue, we actually stayed there for longer than we thought. We thought that it would definitely end like altogether like around 6. We ended up staying there until like 6:30, 6:45.
Well, the thing is that the table wasn't ready until 4:30.
And I thought that since I put down the reservation that
so
it would be
you put down the
before.
reservation at a time, but then they told you 30 minutes later that your table would be ready.
Yeah, and so what happened was that they said, like, when I came up, they said that, we can't have you seated until there's all 12 of you, and I'm just like, but I put down the reservation for 4. But anyways...
Wait, for 4 people or 4 o'clock?
No, I said for 4 o'clock.
But then the thing is that the whole party needs to be there at 4. But then another friend of ours, the friends just keep on going late, by the way.
Yeah, and so... So thankfully they were able to seat us when it was the majority of us. Not all of us per se, but it's just like the majority of us, thankfully. And so we were able to get a table and thus began our huge feast.
We had a good feast. I do have to say this though. I think one of my friends said it right. Do you think the quality of the meat kind of is lacking compared to like what we had again before?
Really? I actually didn't notice because here's a little not so fun fact. It's actually been 2 whole years since I've dined in again barbecue. Korean barbecue.
So maybe you didn't notice now.
So yeah, it's.
I mean, I haven't had Gen in a while too.
It's been a long while. So I actually didn't quite notice the quality because I remember the quality being vastly good. So. You know me, like, Gen's my favorite place to eat, so I'm always down to enjoy Gen.
There are a lot of other competitors that are out there to be another big Korean barbecue spot. So I'm kind of feeling like Gen Korean barbecue is like the big restaurant that everyone knows about, but it has I would agree it did kind of lack because it didn't really have that great taste. I was full, but the taste wasn't as like pleasing or like as great compared to like the other Gen Korean barbecues that we went to.
Really, I'm actually kind of surprised you said that.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised you said that, man.
Maybe my taste buds is saying like, yeah, you need better quality food.
I think it's because as you get older, your taste buds start to be more. You start to have more cynical taste buds.
Yeah. So I kind of like tend towards like I need good food. If I can't really eat at a fast food spot anymore, or can't go for cheap food anymore, you know. Even though I already went to a fast food spot with Wendy's, so
You're turning into a Yelp reviewer, man.
I mean, hey, it's if anything, it's still fun to do. Yeah. And
so instead of us watching the movie, I decided instead, because I wanted us all to have a fun time, on all of us to bond together, that we end up going to a boba place instead and get our drinks, just like hang out and chill. Most of us went to the boba place, but then there was like a few of us that went to the cafe place that was right next to it.
I know I had boba, so
yeah.
Fun. And then we opened your gifts, by the way. You ended up having like a lot of Spy Family gifts, by the way.
Oh yeah. Like we may have not have seen the Spy X Family movie, but the Spy X Family magic was still there that night.
Yeah, it was kind of funny because like they brought in Spy Family gifts, but they didn't watch the movie. And I'm like, okay, look, if it's just the three of us out of like 12 people that are in there, I don't think it's worth it, to be fair.
I don't either. I felt like the more I thought about it, the more I thought, you know what? I want to do something that includes all of us, not just a portion of us, but all of us.
Yeah, because everybody else is just gonna be split after the dinner.
Yeah, that's pretty much the thing.
I don't know because like I don't know if there were like huge fans of Spy Family amongst the crowd that were in there, but yeah, I would love to watch the movie. Like, I wanted to watch the movie, but we'll have to see. Maybe this weekend we'll watch it.
Yeah, I did too. But you know what? It's never too late to like watch it in theaters, and of course, I plan to see it in theaters with you. So
yeah, let's do it. Hopefully this weekend we'll watch it.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's all I can say about the weekend. I know that your birthday was Friday, not Saturday. Saturday was our big celebration, but Friday was a birthday. So
yeah.
Well, how was Friday? Your birthday, the real birthday.
Okay, I'm just gonna start out. I'm 32. Oh,
I never say my age.
I'm sorry, I had to do a Kazugane's movie moment, Kazugane's movie reference. But anyway, so on Friday was my day off from work because, well, it was my birthday. So what happened was that a good friend of mine, Greg, came over to visit me in my house, and we ended up chilling, having some pizza and wings, watching some Pirates of the Caribbean, the first movie, and then we saw this movie at AMC Theaters called The Mystery of Ungentlemanly Warfare, and it was so satisfying as a movie. Like, it's basically similar to Inglourious Bastards, except instead of like Jewish American soldiers killing Nazis, it's actually a small group of like British soldiers doing the job. So yeah, and also after we saw the movie, my mom presented us with this chocolate mousse cake. And gifts and all this stuff. They sang happy birthday to me, and we enjoyed the cake, and then later on we went upstairs to play video games, and that was my Friday. And by the way, the Saturday was a chocolate mousse cake that I also shared with all of you. So yeah,
nice.
It was that same cake.
That was a good cake.
Yeah, I was glad to share with all of you. Mm-hmm. So yeah, this was definitely a good birthday weekend overall, and I'm thankful you guys got to be part of it.
Yeah, we definitely got to be there for it. Indeed. Yes, it was really fun. It was a really fun weekend. But yeah, now that you're older now, oh man, we got again a lot of big things to talk about when it comes to the world of animation. But let's go ahead and get things started here at the Anination Podcast, but by actually reviewing the Big City Greens episodes. Now, we did have a 2-week window for you guys to catch up on Big City Greens, so now let's go ahead and actually review some of the newest episodes of Big City Greens for you guys. Let's start off with Family Tree. Yes, this is the episode where the Greens are stuck on a tree. Let's just keep it at that. They're stuck in a tree.
You know, it's not the first cartoon to present characters that got stuck in a tree. Remember Hey Arnold?
Oh god. Although to be fair, they were forced up on a tree. I don't know. Like,
there was 3 in that show.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, they were forced. I don't know, like they were trying to rescue somebody off a tree, yet they got themselves stuck on their own.
Yeah, this episode takes a different route to a tree stuck in a tree episode because they don't feel really stuck, but they feel more attached to it.
Yeah, and to be fair, like it actually did have a good theme at the end, but we're gonna explain that later. So this Family Tree episode starts with all the Greens waking up early, and to be fair, I'm kind of like Cricket, literally like waking up, and I'm just like in a cocoon, just like, oh, what am I doing? Why am I up at like 4 a.m?
Oh,
Yeah.
That's me literally like every weekday, except I don't get up at 4 a.m. I get up like 7 a.m. But still, though, I still feel like that.
So the reason why they wanted to start off at 4 a.m. is because the traffic from the farm all the way to the big city is actually smooth. Your thoughts on that, like waking up early to get through the traffic?
Yeah, Cricket was such a mood in the beginning of this episode. I'm just putting it right there. Second off, it's really interesting how they took the route of featuring a sort of maps app, and it's Bill Green that actually is pretty much getting on this maps app. Like for a countryman, he actually is quite he can get quite attached to technology at times. But here though, it's pretty interesting how they have their own Maps app, and it's exactly like the Maps app we have in our phones, where the line is the appropriate color of how good or bad the traffic is.
I do like the fact that like it does change when it came later times. Where like, oh, it's 4 o'clock now, it's 5 o'clock now, it's getting yellow, now it's getting orange, now it's getting red, now it's gonna get dark red. So it tells you like, oh well, you're screwed. You're not gonna make it to big city until like in the afternoon.
It's one of those moments that really does show how Big City Greens really does nail it with today's culture.
Yeah, and well, I mean, it's kind of like the trending thing, where like some cartoons kind of go through the trendy phase. Like, look, South Park does it, Family Guy does it. Like, whatever news comes up from the week, they'll just put it onto an episode. So, yeah.
Yeah, and also you see Nancy Green, who is like so busy with her work. It's
good for Nancy, because it kind of shows me like she's great in the farm. She's not like the rebel like biker that she was back in season 1. Now she's actually has responsibilities to take care of a farm.
Yeah.
It's great to see that Nancy just improve from that.
I like that nice touch, because this is a good example of character development on her part, where you never would have imagined, this Nancy doing this kind of work like in season 1 or season 2, because, she was more like the laid back, kickback, rebellious Nancy. Mm-hmm. But here, however, since she does live in the country, she's more responsible.
Well, if you've been seeing like the Crunchyroll episodes of Big City Greens, Nancy has started to become like a very important character in the country. Like, she never moved back to the city. She does move back to the city sometimes, but she has been mostly in the farm, like talking to people in Smolton, getting back to her dad, for example. That was actually pretty big. Mm-hmm. So yeah, she's back, by the way. So yeah, if anything, there's that.
Nancy, yes.
So yeah, obviously, Bill, Alice, Cricket, and Tilly are supposed to all go to the city. It's like 4 a.m. It's so early. Everybody's like, why are we doing this? But Tilly, on the other hand, had other plans. So she actually woke up and actually went up on a tree. And then, what are your thoughts on the fact that the tree actually like satisfies you? Like, she's up there, she's just relaxing.
Honestly, you look at the tree, you look at the inside of the tree, and then you see yourself immersed into the beautiness of the tree, the quietness, the beautiful sound of the wind. It's just like you do feel how Tilly is feeling. You're just in the moment like she is.
Mm-hmm. And then they also get like the other characters that also hopped on, like Cricket would come up. And when I heard that Bill was gonna bring up Cricket to Tilly, and I'm like, oh, I don't know, this is gonna be bad. I'm pretty sure Cricket was gonna tag along with Tilly, and he did. He literally like took off like the anger face that he had, considering that he woke up hella early, and then literally relaxed in the tree, and he turned out to just like calm the hell down after that.
And I like how Cricket even acknowledges that this is sort of a topsy-turvy sort of timeline he's living in, where it's what he points out is like, oh, it's Tilly being the rebellious one, and then Bill is asking Cricket for his help trying to get Tilly. It's just like, wow, what is this? Like Bango Bingo, I suppose.
I heard Bango Bingo
Bango
too.
Bingo.
Oh my god, this is like this is a whole reverse episode.
Oh my god, Big City Grease, I swear, has some masterful comedic writing. It really does. Like, this is why I say Big City Grease is underappreciated as a show.
So Cricket ended up actually being stuck in the tree too. Nancy also would come along as well, knowing the fact that she's also stressed too, waking up that early. Didn't have breakfast, and I do love the fact that it's an apple tree that they're actually in. So Tilly literally puts down an apple, throws it at Nancy, and then she even says that it's a very satisfying apple. Now she's chill too.
Yeah, and that's what I like about the tree and how they animated it in the episode. Not only does the tree interior look beautiful, but my God, the apples look so much better in this episode than it ever does in real life.
So even like if I have an apple out right now, that doesn't look as good compared to the one at Big City Greens.
No, it doesn't.
What the hell?
I mean, look at the way they animate it. It's sort of like how Studio Ghibli and anime like animate their food.
I know, but I thought like Ghibli would definitely beat out Big City.
Yeah, they would, but obviously they would, but from what we've seen here, they definitely pulled a lot of effort into this because they make the apples appear not only clay but also water. You see the water around the apples.
I see it, and the thing is that what makes it good is what Alice says makes it good. Like, it's so juicy, it's actually satisfying for me to bite on this apple. Yeah.
And it all comes down to also the amount of sound mixing as well, where you hear the bite, you hear the chomp, like.
Okay.
It's just like, it's the crunch of it.
You're really getting into a lot of details on the episode for some reason.
All right, my bad. It's just like the apples are so good, but let's go.
Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute. Why are we really going in depth on everything that makes an apple so good? That doesn't make any sense.
Get a little Star Trek here.
Please, let's move on here. All right, but I do like this one moment here where Alice actually comes up to the tree, and we're thinking like, oh my God, she's hella angry, she's about to bring everybody down, but Nancy, Cricket, and Tilly both calmed her down by making her sniff a flower from the tree, and it turned out to be actually a flashback where we get to see how that tree grew up from her farm.
Yeah, the moment she took a whiff of her flower, you see her growing up, you see her, growing up, but then up to a point where she gets married to this one guy, and then
guy. Do you not know his name?
Like, she gets married to Bill's dad, and then you see baby Bill.
Oh my God, you don't know his name? He literally got introduced the second season of Big City Greens.
Hang on.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He's not a fan anymore, guys. Let's just bring it out of here.
Like, he only appeared in in one episode.
Yeah, but he was like a huge a part of the family. Literally in that episode Garage Tales, you get to hear the name. It's Ernest Green.
Ernest Green.
Yes. How do you forget?
Yeah, but when he appears in one episode, it's been a while since I see that episode. So
yeah, I'm like, wait, you say Bill's dad, and I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? And then you said Alice and this one guy. I'm like, one guy, dude.
Okay.
What?
Okay, maybe it was a little disrespectful to say this one guy. Could have said Bill's dad, but yeah, the name escapes me. So I apologize.
Oh my God.
But anyway,
I'm a bigger Big City fan, and I actually say the name right. Oh my gosh.
But anyway, you get to see, baby Bill.
Yeah, baby Bill getting raised in the tree.
Baby Bill looks cute. Like, oh my gosh, like if there's the best thing about Alice's flashbacks is baby Bill.
Okay, yeah, that's that too. And also we get to see how Alice runs around the tree, which is kind of cute. Like, that tree has been growing up for a long time, even working out on the tree too. Literally,
I know,
on the tree branch. Yeah.
Yes.
So I do love the flashback. It kind of does show Alice's childhood too, because we did see stories of Alice when she was a young adult, raising Bill up. We get to see how Alice and Ernest ended up getting married in that one episode too. I mean, there's so much flashbacks for Alice that we don't see much, and if anything, this scene kind of shows me oh man, Alice, I can't believe we can finally see your past. We get to see more of your past, if anything.
I actually want to see more episodes where it tackles more of Alice's past. More so, I want to see a full-length episode, sort of like a prequel episode of Alice's youth.
Yeah, I know, but we have seen a lot of those episodes, and hopefully we get to see more of that in season 4. But if anything, yeah.
Because I do want to see more of Ernest, because he really was a devoted husband to Alice.
I mean, from that first episode, from the Garage Sales episode, yes, he looked like he was. I mean, even if Alice was actually acting like a jerk, Ernest still came in to help her out, and in the end, they ended up getting married, which is cute.
Yeah, it really was.
Mm-hmm. And now, Bill obviously was the last person who was pretty much stuck on his map, literally looking at the map, saying "Oh, we can't go to Big City anymore, considering that it will probably take hours to get to Big City, considering the traffic is now really bad." So he would actually go up to the tree, and seeing the fact that everybody was chill, he also was chill as well after Tilly pretty much showed him the whole scenery part of the tree. they watched the sunrise together. Everybody watched the sunrise together, and there also was a song also in the end of the episode. So your thoughts on the finale? Your thoughts on the finale of the episode?
I'm just gonna say this right now. It's pretty funny in the beginning to see Bill try to cut down the tree with his own key, even though it's gonna take months.
Do you have a chainsaw? Do you have a chainsaw or anything? You could do that too. I thought you had one or something.
I know, like Bill, don't you carry tools around? I mean, I'm pretty sure you have a better tool than that, buddy.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I hate that he's just like literally grinded like his keys by chopping the tree. It's so stupid.
Sure, I have my truck key, but I just wanted like.
No. If anything, Tilly at least calmed him down to get him up to the tree.
Yeah, and so and of course he's opened his eyes to how majestic the tree is, and then the episode ends with the family humming, just like get a nice hum. It's a nice combination of music without the lyrics. It's more like
it's a good tune. It's a
humming,
good tune.
Scratching the tree.
Yeah, it's a good tune.
Grandma Alice is whistling.
Yeah, it's a good
tune.
It's a good tune to end the song because it's a good way to like see the sunrise come up and then you see the Greens just all singing at the end.
Yeah, it's definitely soothing to listen to.
Yeah. But yeah, that ends the episode after they saw the sunrise together. What are your thoughts on the overall episode?
My thoughts on the overall episode is that I felt it actually caught me by surprise because you never expected that they would capture a family tree, like an actual tree, so majestically and so soothingly. Like when you're inside the tree, you do feel what Tilly and the rest of the family is feeling.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, Tilly would be the calm person out of the group. You see Cricket get like crazy sometimes. You get to see Alice get angry a lot, Bill gets stressed a lot, and then Nancy being rebellious. But Tilly's the one that actually is the one that calms everything down, makes everything like a really fun family to say. And when she's up on that tree, I love how she's just influencing the others in the family to calm down. Oh, it's too early. I get it. Let's calm down. Let's all sit on the tree. Forget about the harvest of bringing everything back to big city. Let's go ahead and calm down on this tree, and then we'll get a better day going.
That's what makes Tilly the perfect person to be the first one to end up in the tree because she's the most down-to-earth character. She's the most down-to-earth character who does tend to look on the bright side of things, so curious about the world around her. So, yeah, it definitely is, in character of Tilly to play that role.
Yeah, and I say this episode was not bad. Again, it is talking about a tree and how relaxing it is. It's just more of a lesson of like how to distress. Go up to this tree and the family will all love it,
Yeah, it's one of those episodes that really does tell you, sometimes you just gotta stop and just take a breather,
Exactly, yeah. So that was good. I think it was a good episode to say. All right, so let's go to the sister episode of this 30-minute long Big City Greens episode, and let's head over to Unguarded. This is the episode where Remy actually is now all grown up and doesn't need Vasquez's help. Yeah.
I'm absolutely shocked. Like Remy doesn't need Vasquez anymore.
Literally, like in the first scene, you get to see Remy like all dressed up for like some sort of medieval like Renaissance fair to say. And then the parents even decided like Vasquez, we don't need you anymore. Like Remy could do it by himself. But this actually broke down Vasquez. What are your thoughts on like Vasquez? The fact that like his job is to protect Remy, but now he doesn't need to protect Remy anymore. He's like broken down.
It actually makes sense for Vasquez's character because of the fact of how protecting Remy has been Vasquez's whole identity. It's like Vasquez, like he thinks of Remy as like his own son in a sense. So when Remy tells him about how he doesn't need him anymore, Vasquez is at the point where he's like, oh, Remy's grown up too fast. Like he's not a little boy anymore. What do I do? Like who do I protect now? It's like because Remy's his life purpose, not just his son to protect, but his life purpose is to protect Remy. So without protecting Remy, like, what does he have?
Well, there's an origin story to it, but we're going to talk about that in this episode. Because kind of wonder, like, how did Vasquez even get this job? He's a bodyguard, yes, but how did he even get this job? Well, that actually gets explained in this episode. But I understand, like, Vasquez's point where, like, oh, what are you going to do next? I'm not a bodyguard anymore? Who is supposed to guard now? Like, Remy doesn't need me anymore? So what is going on?
Yeah.
And I do love like how Vasquez like gets broken down. He's like literally faints on the floor. His glasses got broken or something. It's like, wow, Vasquez, like your life's purpose is done.
Yeah, like you got to feel for Vasquez, but at the same time, Remy's not a little boy
I'm kind
anymore.
of wondering about this too, because Remy was in the farmlands for like half a season. How did Vasquez feel throughout that whole time?
You know what? I actually want to see an episode where it tackles Vasquez's life in the big city without, Remy by his side of the big city.
I think they were gonna bring more of that. Like,
I really hope to
later.
see that because I can't imagine how Vasquez must be feeling throughout the time Remy is gone.
Right. So Remy goes to the Renaissance Fair with the Greens, and obviously Vasquez got left behind. Obviously Vasquez just got like hella traumatized that even Remy's parents decided to actually book a therapist.
Therapist,
Yeah,
a mobile therapist.
yeah. They literally bring a therapist to help Vasquez out. And throughout the time, we get to see this origin story of how Vasquez became Remy's bodyguard. And it's kind of crazy knowing the fact that they actually were thieves until...
I know.
Yeah. Your thoughts on the origin story of how Vasquez got this job to be Remy's bodyguard?
It actually isn't the first time that we have seen the Order of the Fang in big city.
Yeah, they're
Greens.
everywhere. They've been everywhere sometimes, but you've seen the past, like, of the Order of the Fang. You get this one guy who's like a rival to Vasquez, but I didn't know that he was actually part of it.
Yeah, so he was a part of it, and his name was Tiger Fang. And so you did get to... Vasquez tells his therapist a story about how he first encountered Remy. So what happened was that Vasquez, like the Order of the Fang group, goes to sneak into the Remington's house to steal his one scroll called the Order of the Skull. But then what happens is that the Remingtons arrive home with their baby Remy.
Yeah.
Yes, it's baby Remy. So cute.
Although, to be fair, like, the way that Remy actually likes toys, apparently he likes that scroll for some reason.
Yeah. He's such a beautiful little nerd.
No, yeah, that's what his dad said. Even his freaking dad, who's a football player, even knows that he's a nerd. What the hell?
Yeah, and so you see baby Remy sleeping soundly with the scroll, and then you see Vasquez, aka Tiger Fang at the time, try to take the scroll, but when he tries to pull away the scroll, that's when Remy starts crying, and so in order to calm the baby down, he leaves him be with the scroll, but then his Fang group comes up with the idea to kidnap the baby in order to get the scroll. And so Vasquez, with the change of heart, at seeing how, soundly and beautifully baby Remy is, he decides, you know what? No, you are not taking the baby. Leave it alone.
Which leads up to this, like, huge fight of Vasquez pretty much betraying the Order of the Fang. So he just ends up beating up, like, the rest of his members, even his rival, too. And it also leads up to, like, the Remingtons actually seeing the fact, like, oh my god, my baby is being kidnapped and stuff. But nonetheless, Vasquez actually steps up and actually defeats the Order of the Fang. So
yes, good on Vasquez.
And he also gets hired as a bodyguard on the spot.
And the rest is history.
Pretty much, yeah.
And so you see Vasquez through flashbacks of him, like as Remy grows up, Vasquez still plays his part in protecting Remy at all costs. Rather it be him jumping out of the swing, rather it be him guarding the other kids so Remy can have his turn with the playground stuff. Pretty much everything. Yeah.
Yeah, he even kicks an eagle. I don't know. If anything touches Remy, Vasquez will be there to protect him. There you go.
So for many years, Vasquez has had his life dedication. Like, he's been dedicated to Remy. He's been dedicated to protecting this young boy. And now that he sees that Remy becoming more independent, like the more independence Remy grows, like the more independent Remy becomes, the more dependent Vasquez becomes of Remy. So it's sort of ironic in that Vasquez is expecting Remy to be dependent of him, but in reality, Vasquez is dependent on Remy himself.
Which is surprising too. And I'm like, well, first off, you're an adult, you're a grown adult. But here's the thing, like, he's been doing this his whole entire life, ever since jumping off the Order of the Fang. So he's been doing this ever since Remy was like a baby. Now he's like 12 or I don't know, probably like 10 or 11 years old. So throughout that time, he was Vasquez's guard. Oh, sorry, Vasquez was his guard. And yeah, you know, I understand why Vasquez needed this therapist, just because it's like, what is my life purpose now? You know, if anything, yeah, he ends up getting some relief by talking to the therapist about it. But as we move forward to as we continue on with the episode, what was it? What are thoughts on the fight scene? Okay. So as we continue on with the episode, Dr. Bloom tells Vasquez he's already learning to cope with the idea that Remy has all grown up, that he's going to be more independent, doesn't need him all the time. But Vasquez is not a list. He doesn't listen well. He would still go all the way to that big city community center to go through that medieval times thing that all the kids are going to, and he tries to rescue Remy from a joust that was like literally all pool noodles.
It was literally pool noodles, so it wasn't really joust. It was one lines of, Remy having a problem with Cricket.
But he thought Cricket was going to hurt Remy, and he literally was about to have like a crossbow ready for Cricket. I'm like, what's going on here?
Thankfully, it was a tranquilizer and something not nearly as lethal.
Yeah, but he didn't hit him, thankfully, because what happened was that he allowed the joust to happen, and Cricket ended up hurting Remy, but Remy still ended up having fun because it's just pool noodles. Come on, you're not getting hurt from that.
I remember this one scene from that in which Vasquez arrives at like the top of the roof of the community center.
Yeah. And
then Dr. Bloom is like, have you heard the term helicopter parenting?
Yeah.
I laughed so hard at that joke. I was just like, yes.
Well, that is helicopter parenting there, but he's not a parent. He's a bodyguard.
Big City agrees with his comedic writing. I just love it. And also there's some really good scenes too where you see Community Sue as the queen, and then you see Tilly as the lady in waiting saying that I'll wait in line for you since I'm the lady in waiting. My God. The Big City agrees really does nails it with his puns. It really does.
Mm-hmm. I do like this part here where Vasquez actually learned to cope with letting Remy just continue playing in the medieval fair or whatever that joust was. Even Dr. Bloom literally celebrated with confetti, saying like, "Hey, you broke through," but you see Vasquez being all sad, and I'm like, because like Vasquez did technically break through, but the fact that he didn't interfere with whatever Remy was doing. But Dr. Bloom was like celebrating with confetti and all, and Vasquez is like, what? But it worked, right? It worked. Vasquez, you have to learn that Remy is fine without you, but he's not okay with it.
Yeah, no. If anything, he's anything but fine with it.
He's like still confused as hell. And then after that, we get to see Remy and Vasquez actually meet up and say their words and say and you get to see like Remy say like, hey, I know I'm being grown more independent, but I don't need my bodyguard all the time. You're still my bodyguard, which I thought was pretty cute. And then Vasquez and Remy hugged in the end. That was the whole entire episode.
Yeah, I really love this little heart-to-heart because it really does show how grown Remy has become. Remy really has grown as a character. It really does show how Remy has grown as a character.
I mean, like, there are many times where, like, Remy has been by himself with Cricket, for example, with, the Greens. There's also times where Remy, went to the farm, for example, during season 3. And he was by himself, not with Vasquez.
And I feel like the farm arc was really good for Remy because it was a long period in which Remy spent time without Vasquez bodyguarding him all the time. So I think it's really helped strengthen Remy.
Yeah, and I just remember that one scene in during their time in the river or something, and then like he was by himself, all stuck together, and then he's seeing mirages and sees like he sees Vasquez as a beach ball.
Yeah,
Do you remember that? Yeah,
I remember that.
So if anything, they're still connected. Like Remy still has thoughts of Vasquez. Vasquez still wants the job to help protect Remy. So this is gonna be a interesting couple episodes coming forward, knowing the fact that Vasquez and Remy can be okay separately together.
Yeah, this really does tackle a really important lesson in life in that while it's okay for, you could still have someone in your life without having that someone protect you all the time or helicopter parent you all the time. It's sort of like Vasquez is sort of like the overprotective parent who's learning to, let the child go in a sense, like let the child be independent.
Well, if anything, this does tell you that Remy is growing up. So I would imagine that Remy is going to start with a lot more episodes of himself now, and with the Greens, with Cricket, maybe doing his own thing. But I can't wait to see how this will go, because if anything, this just tells you that we're now going to see a side of Remy that's like a little bit better, a little bit more independent than having Vasquez with you all the time.
Yeah, it really just it shows a big lesson about how to keep Remy's and Vasquez's relationship healthy. You know,
Instead of just like having Vasquez just be all over Remy's throat.
yeah, that would end up being more suffocating, and that's not healthy.
Well, I mean, like he dealt with that throughout all of season 1. Remember, like when he tried to be independent by having his own apartment. Remember that?
I remember that.
Yeah.
And it didn't go so well for him or Cricket.
Myself. Just let me grow up. Yeah, exactly. But then again, that was like back when season 1. He's still a kid back then. Now we're in season 4. And you can see the growth continue to do well for Remy Remington.
Yeah, like Remy has really grown on me. Like Remy was a character I wasn't so fond of.
Oh, I like him
before. Like
not the fact that Zeno Robinson voices him too. Okay, so
keyword being wasn't. I didn't find him all that interesting in seasons 1 and 2. Seasons 3 and 4, however, they really upped his character. Like Remy really has grown on me tenfold.
Yeah, and I actually, well, to be fair, I actually do love everybody from Big City Greens. So there's that.
Except for Gregory.
Okay, yeah, forget that episode. We reviewed that like 2 weeks ago. That was not a great episode to talk about. But yeah, great episode. I think better than the Family Tree episode in my case. But your thoughts overall?
This was definitely so. Family Tree was better in terms of chill vibes. Unguarded was better in terms of character development, especially for supporting character like Vasquez. Like this was definitely a episode that was very important to Vasquez because it helps get into the root as to why Vasquez is so attached to Remy, why Vasquez is so hell-bent on protecting Remy for all his life. And it gives a really good, clear origin backstory. But then it also shows that just, even with that, you could still learn to, let Remy go and let him do his own thing.
Indeed. Well, if anything, these 2 episodes were pretty good for Big City. Next week, we're going to be reviewing more episodes of Big City Greens, including this nature documentary about Big City.
Oh, yeah.
I do love the fact that Gloria was called a bottom dweller.
Well, she is not. She's a top dweller.
She's a bottom dweller. She literally is. She's literally living in the Greens files for free.
Or maybe she's paying rent this side because she realizes that
I don't know. I didn't see any episode talking about that.
But yeah, no. Honestly, I want to punch that narrator in the mouth just for calling her that. I was like...
Yeah, I actually like that episode, and we're going to discuss that. Concrete Jungle episode is what it's called. And a Pokemon episode relating Big City Greens.
Galaxy. It was Galaxy specifically.
Technically, Pokemon. Okay, it's Pokemon. Yeah, collecting cards. Come on, it's Pokemon.
Galaxy, gotta catch them all.
Oh, God. But yeah, that ends our Big City Greens review for this week. We'll do more next week, so hopefully you're up for that. So let's head over to our next news that we want to talk about. And this came out, was it last week that the trailer came out?
It came out 2 days ago.
Oh, 2 days ago, actually. All right. So as we're recording, this trailer came out 2 days ago. But let's actually talk about Wolverine and Deadpool. Or Deadpool and Wolverine.
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Now, let's actually talk about like the overall timeline on how Deadpool and Wolverine came to be today. We saw the trailer in Super Bowl Sunday. We didn't see much on the trailer. It's just more of like a teaser trailer where you get to see Deadpool do some fight scenes here and there. And we get to see a first appearance. We don't see the appearance of Wolverine until this trailer dropped out a couple days ago.
Yeah, no. The only thing you see of Wolverine is his shadow at the end. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, but that doesn't give you much.
It doesn't.
The only thing that you only see from that teaser trailer was like, oh, there's this. Oh, there's that. Oh, there's so many things that can relate to Marvel Studios movies. And I'm like, oh, we're really mixing a lot of things in Deadpool, are we?
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a huge mixture of a lot of things. And we're going to delve as to what those things might be right now.
Yeah. You don't really need to say right now all the time.
I mean, as we're talking about this trailer, we're going to go in depth.
Yeah, let's go in depth on it because let's talk about the trailer. I don't know why. So when I looked at when I looked at the outline, we have to talk about the beginning trailer. So
we're going to talk about the beginning trailer.
No. The Super Bowl trailer.
Oh, I thought I would keep the Super Bowl trailer brief because I want to talk about this trailer in particular.
Okay. Yeah, then let's actually talk this up right now. So let's go on to the trailer because the trailer begins with Logan, Wolverine, sitting at the bar with Deadpool himself. And then Deadpool tries to recruit Wolverine into, being a partnership and all. But they end up actually coming out only slightly. That's weird. What are your thoughts on this interaction between Wolverine and Deadpool for the first time?
Yeah, when you see Logan in this scene, you could see how he's sort of depressed and
okay, but that's kind of like what Wolverine is, though. To be fair.
Yeah, but there's this one interesting exchange of dialogue between the bartender and Logan, in that he tells him, get out of my bar, you're not welcome here. So something makes me think, is he a fugitive or something like that?
Because here's the thing, when we see Wolverine, and the last time I saw Wolverine was Logan, and he was already in, a really bad state.
Yeah, he was dead. He was dead in that movie, the end of the movie.
Well, I was just saying, he was in a really bad state. But then again, this is X-Men that we're talking about, so you actually get to see the Doctor... I forgot what...
Xavier.
Charles Xavier. Charles Xavier was in Logan, but in this movie, he feels like he's a rogue X-Men.
Yeah, he really does. And Deadpool, the way Deadpool approaches him is just so funny. He's just like, hi, Peanut.
Yep.
And I like how that's a callback to the Ant-Man movies because that's what Scott Lang calls his daughter. He calls his daughter Peanut.
Oh,
so that's where it comes from.
Interesting.
That's where it comes from.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, the first interaction with Deadpool and Wolverine doesn't seem to be great because it seems like Wolverine was about to kill Deadpool. Deadpool wants to kill Wolverine. He literally had a gun right in his head. This doesn't seem like a very fun interaction between both of them.
It doesn't seem friendly at all. If anything, it's more of a, they sort of rivals in a sense. You got Gun versus Claw, and they're both lethal characters in a sense. They both have that threatening vibe to them.
They're weapons.
They're weapons, and also the characters themselves are threatening.
Yeah.
The characters themselves are threatening. Of course, Deadpool, you got him doing. He's sort of like the wacky, goofy sort of guy, but that is Deadpool though. But when he's threatening, he could be really threatening. He could be
really threatening, but he still has that charismatic character that he always pulls off.
And I think that's what makes the dynamic work is that you got the duo of the funny, goofy character that spews out fourth wall jokes, and then you got the other who's the more serious and more depressing one, which is why I think that already when you look at these two characters and how they're going to share screen time together, their banter, their chemistry, there just works.
It will work, but we'll see how it goes, knowing the fact that this doesn't seem great at first. And when we actually know more about how this Wolverine came to be, because I remember when you watched Logan, he did pass away. But this Wolverine apparently is a multiverse Wolverine, actually. So he came from another world. That's why he ends up being miserable, drunk at the beginning of the trailer. So he has a lot of baggage on his shoulder. The movie is going to help tackle the character arc of this Wolverine. Your thoughts on Wolverine himself, how he's written in this movie?
Yeah, it's an interesting take that they do with Wolverine because, yeah, like you said, if you remember what happened in Logan with the original Logan, the original Wolverine, he's pretty much dead. He pretty much died at the end of Logan. Here, however, this is a different kind of Wolverine. It's a different kind of Logan from another universe. So already, this movie is going the multiverse route. It's still continuing that multiverse tradition.
You know what's weird is that the first two Deadpool movies didn't feel to be in the multiverse at all, knowing the fact that they just relate to X-Men. So here's the thing, this Deadpool movie is actually made with Marvel Studios this time. It's not by Sony Pictures or any of the other studios that worked on the other first two Deadpools. This means that they can do whatever they want in incorporation with the Marvel Studios films. Hence why we have Disney. Hence why we have TVA folks from Loki coming into this movie.
Hence why we have the portal from as a reference to Doctor
Strange. And a portal from Doctor Strange. Oh.
So you got the Marvel Studios properties, and yeah, the reason why the first two Deadpool movies were in multiverse is because they were their own self-contained movies.
Yeah. So I don't know what happened. So my thing here is how can Deadpool actually pull out the multiverse theory, knowing the fact that the first two Deadpool movies never really brought that up into contention.
I think it's more so along the lines of Deadpool Wolverine was made during a time when 20th Century was already under Disney's umbrella.
Yeah, it was. That's the reason why they Marvel Studios went all out and actually tried to incorporate as much Marvel Studios references in this. So yeah. Wolverine himself in this movie, I mean, here's the thing. It's a different Wolverine. It's not the same Wolverine that we've seen back in X-Men First Class, X-Men Legacy, X-Men, Apocalypse, whatever those other X-Men movies are. Yes, this is a different Wolverine. So if anything, Hugh Jackman is back, and again, he's still Wolverine. Heck, he even has the X-Men. He even has the original X-Men outfit, guys.
That's also another key difference between this Wolverine and the other Wolverine, the old Wolverine. The old Wolverine in the other movies never had the yellow jumpsuit that this Wolverine has.
He just ends up getting like that blue X-Men suit. It's not the original yellow blue X-Men suit that you get to see in like all the video games that he's in, or all of that. It's the original itself, and he's pulling it off really well. I'm not gonna lie.
He really does, yeah. One thing that I am kind of disappointed by is the fact of how he didn't have the Wolverine mask. Like, he had the Wolverine, uniform, but he didn't have the mask.
He doesn't really need a mask. I mean, he doesn't actually wear a mask at all as Wolverine.
Granted, he's still threatening as Wolverine with or without the mask, but still, though.
He's got the hair. The hair looks very much like Wolverine. I mean,
still, though, there's this old school part of me that sort of like wants to see the mask later on in the movie.
Somebody's been watching a lot of X-Men 97.
No, I haven't watched X-Men 97, but I have played Marvel's Capcom 3, which he did have.
Yeah, he did have the mask, but I'm just saying, like, you know what? If anything, it still pulls it off well. Okay, let's just move in detail there.
Yeah, no, that's just nitpicky on my part, and a bit more sentimental side of me that wants to see a mask. But yeah, other than that, though, I feel he really does look badass in that, suit.
So we did already discuss about how Marvel Studios is going to change up the Deadpool movies, and we talked about it with TVA being a part of the movie. The fact that the time agents are coming into the movie, which kind of tells me, like, are we going to get some Loki references here? I don't know if this is during the time when TVA was breaking down during the Loki series, but it kind of feels like it is in this case, knowing the fact that Deadpool needed to go to another universe to get this Wolverine.
Yeah, Deadpool pretty much had to go the Doctor Strange route and just like travel to multiple universes.
So does it tell me like Doctor Strange also appears in this too? Like, who makes a portal too? Oh, it could be that one guy too.
To be honest, anyone could appear in this movie.
It's just strange that Doctor Strange he's the only one that can make the portal, right? Or are there any more people that makes portals?
So there's also Wong.
Maybe Wong could be a part of it.
Maybe Wong could, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, out here, like, there are gonna be a lot of surprises for this movie. I mean, if you brought in a lot of Marvel Studios movie, it tells me like anything could happen. Maybe Loki pops out of nowhere, or maybe we'll see a reference to another Avenger. I mean, there was a big mask revealing an Ant-Man mask.
Yeah, there really was.
I'm just saying, like, okay, we are really mixing up a lot of things here, and this kind of just brings up like a lot of surprises that could happen. Yeah. Marvel Studios is actually just like trying to clash it all together in Deadpool and Wolverine, and it's somehow making me intrigued, make me want to watch this movie.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you look at it, and the more Marvel Studios references and Easter eggs they put into the movie, the more you just think to yourself, the more intrigued you feel about where the movie's gonna go.
Yeah. So with all the things that you see from the Marvel Studios movies to like everything that you saw from the trailer, do you have any ideas of how it'll go?
I have a feeling that now it's easy for me to say that, oh, they're going to throw in Easter eggs, like overabundance of Easter eggs just for the sake of it, or just for the sake of saying, oh, look, it was from that Marvel Studios movie, or oh, look, it's from that Marvel Studios movie. But however, I would argue the fact that since it is Deadpool and Wolverine, I feel like the Easter eggs are going to serve some sort of purpose to the story and the humor that the Deadpool and Wolverine movie is going to go for.
So my thing right now is that we're changing up the multiverse saga, because remember, we're technically still in that multiverse saga, but there are changes, knowing the fact that some folks will not be back. Some folks like what was it, Kang? Yeah, I don't think he's coming back after what Marvel did to him. So yeah. And to be fair, that's good, just because he's a terrible actor.
Yeah, we all know the less said about the actor, the better. But let's move on.
Yeah, there's that. So remember that there's a new person that rules over the timeline, and that's Loki. I don't know if he'll actually appear, but because he's pretty much just like the Watcher right now, just watching all timelines. So there's that.
Yeah, it made me think: is Loki could appear in the movie somewhere?
I have like a 5% chance on that.
Like at least a cameo somewhere around there. I don't know.
Why? Do you think Thor will also be up here too, or something?
No. Because since Loki does watch over these worlds, it would be a perfect opportunity for like Deadpool to sort of like poke fun of it.
I guess. What other like characters can we actually bring up? Because I mean, you did have Doctor Strange. You did have that portal. Something tells me that Doctor Strange will be a part of this movie.
I actually want to bring up one key factor. It's the fact of how you see the 20th Century Studios logo all crumbled up.
Yeah. That's also in like the teaser trailer too. So I mean, that's again fourth wall breaking, because like I think like the Marvel Studios know like, oh yeah, we did crush 20th Century Studios. Thank you, Disney.
Yeah, like there's gonna be some self-aware Deadpool humor all around.
That's what it is. Deadpool's supposed to be the fourth wall breaking hero, and he turns out to be like a big jerk. I mean, they've seen it from the first two movies.
But like he does grow out of it in the Deadpool and Wolverine movie, based on the fact of how he celebrates his birthday with his friends and family.
And then he knows, and then he also knows that he also could lose him. That's the reason. That's the purpose of the movie. That's the reason why he's recruiting Wolverine. The fact that he could lose all of his family and friends. I have a feeling like, so I'm putting up a theory here that his timeline could be broken because of what the TVA is doing, and that's why Wolverine. He recruits Wolverine to help him out, so that the timeline could be could be saved. Because you saw like who Deadpool was fighting, right? TVA agents.
Yep, TVA agents.
So something tells me the TVA is going to be against Deadpool in this case.
Not only that, you also see Wolverine alongside him fighting these TVA agents.
Because
so they're going to be a team.
Yes, they're going to be a team.
And it's not just the fighting scenes that make you think, oh, they're such a dynamic duo, they're a team, but it's also their banter. Like you see them bantering with one another, exchanging lines of dialogue, and you could tell that watching the two, whether it be through these action scenes or outside these action scenes, they're going to be an excellent duo to watch from beginning to finish.
Mm-hmm. And I kind of do like to see how this pair will go up. I mean, one thing I want to see is like, will we have X-Men references? Will Wolverine go back to the X-Men? I mean, he's a rogue. He's a rogue X-Men right now, but who knows? We could probably see some X-Men here. If anything, that could lead up to X-Men. If you remember watching the end of Marvels.
Yeah, the end. I actually haven't watched the Marvels.
Are you fucking kidding me? Oh,
I haven't watched the Marvels, but
wow.
I'm behind on my MCU, but
wow. I literally was about to put up a spoiler because that was huge.
But
what happened in the end of that movie?
I think it's because the MCU, let's be honest here, like this current phase, MCU hasn't been as hype as it used to.
Okay, well, it isn't as hype, but they're still leading up to a story that is going to be huge in the end or something.
Like even Deadpool says himself, going back to the Super Bowl trailer, he even says, I'm going to be Marvel Jesus.
Yeah, I remember that too.
And so,
and then maybe he could be the changer that can actually lead Marvel Studios back to its glory, to say.
I think so too, and that's where the self-aware humor comes into play. Based on that one line, like Deadpool is aware that the Marvel Studios isn't as glorious as it used to be, and so it's up to him to save the entire MCU himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that's what I'm assuming too. So again, a lot of big things that we can discuss when it comes to the trailer. I would imagine there's gonna be another trailer coming out, considering the fact that it is coming out July. We have like 3 months till this movie comes out. And
this is a perfect time as well because July is during the summer, and so Deadpool Wolverine would be the perfect summer blockbuster.
And knowing the fact that this is Marvel Studios' only movie that they're going to bring out this year. I know that Marvel Studios always brings up like 2 or 3 movies per year, but I understand their case, knowing the fact that they're going to change up their movie lineup now. The fact that things have happened in their shows and movies that tells me like, okay, we're leading towards something that's going to be good for Marvel Studios. The way you're showing it right now is bad. So that's why you're seeing a lackluster like performance of Marvel movies. And we just hope that Deadpool Wolverine actually is the pinnacle, the start of it all, that can actually lead into better Marvel Studio movies, maybe X-Men movies, maybe X-Men movies, another Deadpool movie, maybe. There's a lot of things in the future that is going to be happening that makes me think like we're going through that, are we?
Yeah, and not just Marvel Studios, but Disney as a whole. I think that they're learning their lesson from last year, because what happened last year is that they focused more on, releasing the quantity of their products more so than thinking about the quality of each product.
What do you mean by quantity?
You know how last year they released an overabundance of Disney movies, Marvel movies, and projects and all that stuff. Here, however, this year they're going to focus on releasing one Marvel Studios movie, one Pixar movie, which is Inside Out 2. They're focusing more on trying to cause some sort of how do I put it?
Also,
they're trying to focus more on the quality of the movies and bringing out one movie from each branch, like Marvel, Pixar, and all that.
Marvel, Pixar. There's some Star Wars movies coming out. There's a Disney animation movie coming out. Moana 2. Yes, also coming out this year.
Moana 2, which we talked about in the presentation of Cinemacon last week. But
yeah. I still say this is a good rebuilding of the MCU, and we hope that the MCU will get better as more movies come along. We did hear the announcement of the new Captain America movie, and I'm assuming this is separate towards whatever Deadpool and Wolverine are going to do in this movie.
Oh yeah, no, the new Captain America movie is going to be a totally different movie from this one, but still though, seeing as how we're going to see how Deadpool Wolverine is going to do, critic acclaim wise and also box office wise. Let's hope that it does well.
So I would say box office wise, it would definitely be a number one. It would probably be number one for 2 or 3 weeks. But content wise, do you think it would actually be stellar for an MCU movie?
It has a very good chance of being critically praised. Pretty much, it has a good chance of being well received amongst critics and audiences.
I think so too, and I would imagine a lot of people want to see that just because the first 2 Deadpool movies was great. This is definitely, I think, the top of it all. And knowing the fact that Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, is back, he's going to be more badass with the claws that he has, and Deadpool being more sarcastic and all that jazz, and the fact of all these Easter eggs that'll happen in Deadpool, something tells me this is going to be a hit movie, and I hope this actually does change MCU. And we don't know what the future stands when it comes to the MCU right now, but if anything, this movie will change it all and make things better for the MCU, or for Marvel Studios entirely.
The key factor, the key question, the $1 billion question, no pun intended. Do you think this movie will cross $1 billion?
No, probably worldwide. You mean?
Worldwide?
No. People are gonna be waiting till Disney Plus. People are gonna be waiting to watch it on Disney Plus. So, I would say 300 million, 500 million worldwide.
500 million is the appropriate
I don't know
answer.
I don't know why the $1 billion mark.
I think it's because of the fact of how, when you look at these two characters, they're two really iconic Marvel characters, and it's the return of Deadpool. Not only is it the return of Deadpool, but it's also the return of Wolverine, and it's the Wolverine with the classic jumpsuit. So it's going to get Marvel movies really hyped up for this.
I still say, since still we're in a land of streaming where people kind of wait, not go into the theaters, but wait till the movie hits Disney Plus. It will not really reflect well in the box office. $1 billion. That's endgame numbers there.
No, it's just it was just a key question. I just wanted to get your input on this.
I still say wouldn't make it 1 billion. Maybe $500 million.
500 million then.
Yeah, I will say at highest 500 billion, lowest 300 million.
Okay.
Worldwide. Yeah.
500 million is my prediction, and we'll go with your prediction as well. So
okay. Anyways, this movie we can't wait for. This comes out July 26th. We have 3 months to go. When more movie trailers come out, we'll discuss it more here. But yes, I think MCU is back. I think Marvel Studios is back.
To quote these two individuals, let's fucking go.
Oh yeah, LFG.
LFG.
I like the fact they put LFG on it, and both of them literally said it while they were attacking.
LFG.
All right. Enough of Marvel Studios talk. Let's actually talk about Disney TVA and the current news that came out. Now, here's the thing. Amphibia was gone. Amphibia left 2 years ago. We were so sad about it. It was a perfect ending for our, huh?
We miss it dearly.
Yeah, we miss it dearly. But have you seen recently in social media that the fandom continues to draw a lot of things every day? I mean, if you follow along with like a couple of like Amphibia users that I know, they're currently making a Marsan zine, which, you know, my favorite ship, Marsan.
Marsan is best ship.
There was like Shawshan zines, there's like Sasharsi zines, there's a lot of things when it comes to like Amphibia artwork, and I've just been following, retweeting, and just loving all things Amphibia. If anything, the ending was perfect, and it made me like love the show a whole lot more after watching that ending. So there's that. Even though like it had its silliness up and down, Amphibia was still like a perfect show when it comes to Disney TVA.
Oh, definitely one of the best Disney TV shows ever.
So we're kind of wondering what's next for Amphibia, because knowing the fact that the show is over, are we done? Is it over? Are we just going to rely on fan projects now for Amphibia? Well, hold your breath now, because a couple of months ago, during a meet and greet signing that was happening during Streamily, Matt Brawley, the creator of Amphibia, did break the news that there's actually going to be something new from Amphibia, and it is the art book of Amphibia.
Let's go! Yes, look at it. It's all shiny and golden. It's beautiful.
So Matt Brawley announced it a couple of months ago during his signing. When you heard about it, what are your thoughts? The fact that there's still more Amphibia content coming up.
We got this. Look at this too. Look at the way it looks too. It looks majestic. It looks beautiful.
It's the three Guardians and Sasha and Marcy.
Not only that, it's all golden and shiny. It's just like, it looks so appealing. The front color looks so appealing.
I feel like it's a brand new it's like something like the people on Amphibia just made recently. Just the fact that like, oh, there's our three heroes, and Marcy and Sasha. Yes, the Guardians of Amphibia. Yes,
and look at the way they're holding the gems,
just like the Prodigy that they talked about in the show.
And they're holding the gems based on their appropriate colors, like Marcy green and blue, Sasha red. It's just like, yes, this is perfect. This is golden. Let's go.
Okay, so when I first heard about the news, I literally was out of town, just doing my own thing with a couple of friends. And then, like, my Twitter just kept popping up abruptly. And I'm like, what's going on? And I see my feed, and I'm like, wait, what? Art book. And I didn't know about this, but Matt Brawley literally just, like, said it during his stream. And he even... Well, first off, he did sign an autograph. I did actually sign up for an autograph, but I should have actually put more in my autograph for Matt Brawley to sign. But during the whole signing, he did announce the fact that there's going to be an Art of Amphibia book. Made by Tokyo Pop, by the way. The people who make manga.
Yes, and fun fact, Tokyo Pop is also the same people that did Marcy's Journal. So Tokyo Pop is closely tied with Amphibia in terms of books.
Yeah, it's kind of cool how Tokyo Pop, I mean, even if Tokyo Pop I thought was kind of like a dead company, they're kind of coming back with their mangas, and they're doing something with Disney Publishing right now, and it's like, yes. Oh God.
It makes me think, are they going to do Amphibia manga next?
Oh, I don't know. Matt Brawley, do you have more things in the future for Amphibia? You're the creator here. More graphic novels, more manga. I don't know. I mean, you did leave something in the journal that kind of tells me, oh, they're going back, are they?
Yes, they are. They're hopping back on.
Needless to say, this art book is pretty much, look, so according to what people have been saying in Twitter recently, this art book is actually over 300 pages long, has a lot of concept art from like the character designs to like the background designs to like everything in between. So like storyboard art, maybe earlier character designs. It's everything for Amphibia. So your thoughts on like how like these drawings led up to like how great the show became?
Yeah, it's all one big art package. It shows... It shows many drafts, like from the rough early draft to the final draft. It even shows the characters' original designs. Like I remember Sprig's original design was that...
Well, he was just a pink frog itself.
He was a pink frog, and he had a blue scarf. And
yeah, he didn't have like, what was it, those goggles and that green vest.
Yeah, no, he looked like your basic, animated frog.
Yeah, but then again, this is just a pilot, and then you just saw Anne. Anne was just like, I think her regular self, because like I remember she had long hair before, and then she had puffy hair, and that turned out to be what the pilot episode showed: a puffy-haired Anne Boonchoi.
And also, fun fact is that the original Anne Boonchoi, her hair was actually light blue.
See, like blue, like the color.
like that color, yes.
Yeah. My thing here is like how this pilot ended up becoming to hit the amazing series that we watched. It just shows you like how did it all begin? Because I would imagine like from you when you saw the pilot episode, it was just all not like the green and like amazing like world that Amphibia was. It was literally like a green like sky and like a swampland. We also get to see like early concept of Marcy and Sasha and look like they were brats, not like what Anne was.
Yeah, they look like brats, but then in the final draft, they made Sasha and Marcy look like, regular teenagers.
They look like what Anne was.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, like, this is just early concept. This was like back in like 2015 or like in those years before he got greenlit for the series. So, if anything, it just shows you like how did Amphibia come to be, and they're all gonna be in that book. Again, more stuff. I would imagine they would go through like every episode. So like we'll get to see the first episode of how Sprig met Anne. We'll go through like True Colors where we get to see how this scene happened. Oh great.
Yes.
No.
Super Saiyan.
Yeah, Super Saiyan happened and then that happened.
No, don't mention that.
I would imagine there was gonna be a lot of like behind the scenes look of like, oh, how do you allow this to happen?
Yeah, and they even had to get out it got so dark up to the point where they had to get a viewer discretion's advice screen.
Well, we know that. We discussed that a long time ago. How the core was made. Sasha's armor, early concept of her armor. How did she end up getting long hair? I would imagine like there's some holes that we've missed out on Amphibia that they didn't show in the regular show of the cartoon. That's probably going to be in the book.
Yeah, I would imagine that since it's 300 pages worth in this big art book, like it's gonna show us more than just the illustrations and the drafts and all that stuff. It's gonna show us some very key details as to how the animation came to be, the questions we had.
So I think one thing that I'm looking forward to in this book is the background art, because everything in the background looks amazing, from the bazaar in some of the bazaar in Hoppington. Wartwood. Sorry. The bazaar in Wartwood, you get to see like the mayor's house. You get to see how the mayor looked like. Matt Brawley's character in Wartwood 2, who grows tulips. Tulips. Maybe some concept art on the characters in LA, because they're just regular folks. How did they end up getting Pepper Ann in Amphibia? And also the other thing too is like the battle scenes. I think the one thing that I want to look forward to is how are we able to actually animate those battle scenes, from the True Colors battle scene to the all-in battle scenes. The all-in battle scenes, and just
hardest thing.
Yeah,
and hardest.
That battle scene was just short, to be fair. Yeah,
but still though no matter how short they were very well animated.
Oh yeah, I know they're very well animated, but like, oh god, it's great. What more things do you want to look forward to in the book?
More things that I look forward to in the book is like I said, the amount of animation, the amount of rough drafts it's going to show, and I think that there's going to be some sort of well-written description of how the animation came to be. Like, it's not just pictures, but it's also going to be words as well.
I would say they would have scripts. Maybe they'll have some scripts.
Yes,
I think they'll have some early concept of how they made "No Big Deal" the song. It's no big deal. It's no big deal.
And not only that, but I would imagine there'll be like some sort of like short Q&A stuff with Matt Brawley.
I would say so too. They'll probably put that in the end too.
Yeah.
So again, like there's so much things that they could put in an Amphibia, and I think there's probably a very low chance that this will happen, but maybe there is a continuation after that final scene where we get to see Anne, Sasha, and Marcy together.
Yeah. Low chance, but chances are not zero.
I mean, the journal says something else. If you read the journal, guys, you know that there's still more Amphibia.
Yes, I do remember Marcy's journal, and that was great as well. And like I said before, it's another key example of how Tokyo Pop is doing well with Amphibia books.
I know. Well, here's the thing: like, the show's not gonna be done. We know that, but the story could continue on. I mean, if anything, there is. I mean, look at what Gravity Falls did. Like, even if the show was done, they did put up a new book retelling new stories for Gravity Falls. Not a time skip, but it's stories that was in Gravity Falls.
Yeah, the comic books, like the
Lost Legends,
the graphic novels,
yeah.
Lost Legends. Yeah, so Amphibia might have its own Lost Legends tales.
That's what I'm assuming. So I'm assuming they probably will have like new stories that will pop up in the Art of Amphibia. And I can't wait to see how they all are. Maybe we get to see like what happened to Sasha in between. What was it? When he turned after Turning Point 2, when they met up again in Commander Ann. You know what happened to Sasha? What happened to Sasha then? How did Marcy survive in that freaking vat?
Yeah, I would imagine one or two of the pages they're gonna they're gonna show Sasha training with the frogs.
Yeah. I'm assuming like Sasha leads that rebellion, but how did she lead that rebellion? Have every frog fight? How did she end up getting Wartwood to become like a bunker hole for war?
I know. The closest thing we ever got to, Sasha training with the frogs was before Anne showed up, was in the Amphibia season 3 opening, where you see a 1 or 2 seconds of Sasha like looking at the screen, and you see Grime and the frogs in the background.
Yeah, well, Sasha did have Turning Point, which is the episode where, she went to Wartwood and everyone thought she was Anne's friend. Great. And then she get to see Sasha just get all regretful after what happened. Seeing Marcy, like, literally die. And then seeing Anne go back to LA. She's by herself. And I'm like, oh, yeah, girl, you need to change yourself. And that's what happened in Turning Point.
Hence the title, Turning Point.
She did have a huge turning point that made me love her a whole lot.
Yes.
Second favorite character of Amphibia for me. So,
for me, it's the third. I mean, it's the third.
Yeah. You put the top 3. I remember this.
The top 3 are
You put the top
Calamity
3 as the
Girls.
Calamity Girls, and I put, was it Anne, Sasha, and Sprig 1, 2, 3. So...
Your taste is invalid.
Oh, come on. Sprig was a better character than Marcy.
Marcy was too low.
No.
Marcy was too low.
Marcy was... I can't... Sometimes I can't tolerate her, but she is a adorable young woman.
Yes. You're referring to this little girl?
Yeah, get that thing out of here. Get that cockroach out of here. Oh, God. I think the camera's pointing towards the cockroach. Gross. Disgusting. Ugh.
She's my cockroach.
Oh, why would you love to keep a cockroach? Disgusting.
She's still my marmor.
Yeah. So later on, I think a couple weeks ago, it was announced that this art book will feature a foreword by Brenda Song, who was the voice actress of Anne Boonchoi. Absolutely very exciting to hear, knowing the fact that Brenda is actually going to be having a foreword talking about her time being in Amphibia, being the voice of Anne Boonchoi, the main character of the show. So how excited were you to hear about Brenda being a part of this book?
When I heard that Brenda Song was going to be a part, like giving her forward to this art book, I was very excited. When you consider the fact of how she was voicing the main character of Amphibia, yeah, it's going to be nice to pretty much get her input, like her time working in Amphibia, how much fun she had. And I kind of want to see like a part of the forward being, her writing as if Anne Boonchoi herself wrote it.
I think so. I think that's one thing. But the other thing too is it's Anne Boonchoi. It's my favorite character. And also Brenda Song is like a crush of mine when I grew up, like, watching her like in movies. Like, for example, she was in Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. I loved her as London Tipton. And then she did other side roles here and there. And I didn't know the fact that she was going to be Anne Boonchoi in Amphibia. That obviously intrigued me a whole lot more, the fact that I want to watch more Amphibia. And she did an amazing job voicing Anne, a very amazing lead character for the show. I would say when she puts up this forward, it'll be relating towards Asian culture. A lot of things that can relate to her in this show. Like, the show reflected me a whole lot after voicing Anne. Voicing a lead character like her was just so touching. Maybe some sort of forwards like those. So I can't wait to see what Brenda was going to say, but. Oh my God! Like I would be, if I'm going to read that forward, I might cry because I mean, how impactful it was to see Anne throughout the entire show was just absolutely breathtaking, and I love this show for Anne because she was just an absolute amazing character that just everybody can relate to, and she relates to me a whole lot, and I just was absolutely happy to see her.
Yeah, hence the reason why she's my second favorite character of Amphibia, only behind Marcy. Yeah, Anne really is such a wonderful protagonist and really enjoyable character to watch from start to finish, especially her character growth. It's just so fascinating to watch, and she's had some heartwarming moments here and there, especially with Sprig. Yeah, and really is a delight to watch.
Sprig against the world.
Sprig against the world. I'll miss that. But yeah, needless to say, out of all of these, the Amphibia art book, yeah, the foreword is one. It's one of the things I'm looking forward to the most in this art book.
Now, another thing that makes it so exciting is the fact that it opens up possibilities of other Disney properties to actually have their own books. We already know that the Book of Bill from Gravity Falls is coming out soon.
Yes.
We already have Marcy's Journal and Journal 3. Marcy's Journal from Amphibia and Journal 3 from Gravity Falls. This is a fun-filled era of terms of Disney TVA books. Do you think there will be a future art book or any books relating towards other Disney TVA shows like Haley's on It, Owl House, Moon Girl, Dove Dinosaur? What's the potential of Disney TVA having more books?
You know what? I'm actually thinking to myself, the Owl House does have potential to have, its own set of books.
I think it's next. If this is successful, because Amphibia and Owl House fans are pretty much all correlated together, I believe the art book of Owl House is ready. It's just more like, can Dana agree to it? Will Dana release all the stuff that happened in that show in a part of a Disney art book? I would say yeah. I would say yes.
I'm actually pretty surprised Gravity Falls hasn't gotten its own art book yet. Like,
it's been done since like 2014 or something.
Yeah, like Amphibia got its own art book before Gravity Falls did.
Yeah, and I'm surprised about that too. I don't know. Maybe Alex Hirsch was kind of like, "Oh, we're done with the show. We're done with the show. That's it."
Yeah, but then again, I would argue that like Amphibia has its own safety net, which is Tokyo Pop, whereas Gravity Falls doesn't have much of a safety net. No. Well, granted, there's Book of Bill, but
yeah, but it's a Book of Bill, and I think that's also made by Disney Publishing, so there's that. And if anything, I think there's next. I mean, they have a DuckTales art book, for example,
which I currently have.
Is that also made by Disney Publishing too, or?
I think they are. They are Disney Publishing. It could be, but I'd have to double check on the exact details.
So this is actually backed up by Tokyo Pop, like you said, but Disney Publishing is also the ones that actually would be okay to release out art books. So we get to see probably an Owl House one, but it has to go through Disney Publishing. Gravity Falls, I think, is overdue for one, so probably that will be the next book to come out if they ever make another art book. And then Owl House too, because I really do want to see Owl House.
Yeah, the Owl House was going to have its own manga, but unfortunately that got canceled.
Really? Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it really does suck. Yeah.
And then you also did talk about like other books, so like graphic novels and stuff of that nature. I do want to let you know that Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur already has one, and I have it here right now.
Oh yeah, show me.
Yeah. Let me see. I actually had it here. Yeah. So Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur actually did have a graphic novel that just came out. It was on Amazon. Scholastic made it. Yeah.
How's it you haven't? How have I not heard? I don't know.
Somebody has been off the loop about all the books that have been going on for Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur.
I don't know. Maybe it's because in my feed, I haven't seen as much Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur as I have other cartoons, but still though, like the fact that there's Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur comics right here, it's just like oh my god.
So if you actually read this graphic novel, for those who haven't seen, this is technically an episode of Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur, but it's absolutely brand new. So yeah, and you get to see let's see Linnell, you get to see Devil Dinosaur, you also get to see Casey, for example. She's also in this book as well. So it's just different compared to like the comic books, because remember Casey never existed in the comic books. This is literally a brand new graphic novel, and it's available for Amazon and Scholastic websites, so please check it out. This is an awesome good read to have.
Yeah, Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur, the show, was inspired by the comic book style, so this was definitely a suitable comic book to have based on the series.
Mm-hmm, yeah, and it also does relate towards the series. I mean, having Lunella and Casey have their moments, and Devil Dinosaur there to help them out. Again, I'm not going to spoil anything, but it does reflect an episode of Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur.
Oh my gosh, I got to get on this.
It's a great read, especially the fact that of something that'll happen in the comic. Yes. That actually to be fair, I did see this recently in season 2 of Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur, but it also does happen again here in this comic series.
Looks like you've been reading some Moon Girl magic, huh?
Yeah, I have.
Yes.
Okay, so again, if anything, it does lead to me telling. It does lead to me seeing that Disney TVA is represented more with books, graphic novels, art books, maybe manga, maybe another like child book, for example. And to be fair, there were Owl House books that also did come out, but they're more like those readable books. So like it's more for kids, for them to read, so they can actually read word by word what happened. I remember there's like an Owl House book that actually, I believe it's like one of the first episodes of the Owl House where we get to see Willow and Amity for the first time. So that book, that episode got into a chapter book pretty much.
Yeah, like I'm talking about like when I mean books, I mean like I'd rather have ones that have different episodes, like different stories.
Yeah, and that's fine. Like this is definitely a different story, and if anything, the Art of Amphibia will bring back your regular stories, but maybe more as we continue on with this.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Again, 200 plus pages in this book. Did you already pre-order, by the way?
Yes, I did pre-order, good sir, and I pre-ordered from Amazon.
I did the same thing too. Pre-order from Amazon. It is $50, by the way, so you might want to save your money and pre-order that book immediately, because I would imagine this will be a #1 seller in Amazon and any bookstore out there.
It's worth the price.
Yeah. All right, but it will come out November 2024. The Art of Amphibia. Oh man, I miss them. I miss them a whole lot.
We're gonna see them again.
We're gonna see them again. What?
We're going to see them again in art book form.
In art book form, yes. I said book 4. I'm like, book 4? What are you talking about? This ain't Avatar.
Well, form FORM, but
yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I'm really excited for this. This is something I'm going to hop on,
Oh, God. You and your frog puns, I swear. All right. Again, now let's head over to our main subject. And again, let's talk about Cinemacon, because we did bounce off quickly last week. I did have an emergency that happened last week. I was still dealing with the fact that I was sick last week. So what happened was the urges started to come up again, and I had to immediately cut off the stream there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now I'm feeling better though, guys.
Thankfully, you're feeling much better. I'm so glad you are.
Yeah. But yeah, let's have a brief summary of what we talked about recently for Cinemacon, like Paramount Pictures talking about Sonic the Hedgehog movie, SpongeBob movie, for example. Even the Transformers 1 movie that came out, and they had a trailer that came out recently that we're going to be talking about next week. But yes. Paramount Pictures, your thoughts on how they presented during that convention?
Yeah, so to keep it brief, Paramount Pictures, I feel like, for the most part, they basically been showing like popular IPs, like this new SpongeBob movie. I don't know why they're showing a new SpongeBob movie for some reason. They're milking off the sponge, not just a TV show, but also movies as well. The Smurfs movie looks promising. Like I haven't watched any of the Smurfs content before this, but I'm still curious to check it out.
Well, the Smurfs movie before, though, this is not made by Nickelodeon. Remember the Smurfs movie that had Neil Patrick Harris in the movie? Do you remember that?
I remember it, but I haven't seen it. But I remember.
Yeah, I remember Neil Patrick Harris was like their main guy that helped the Smurfs out, and then Katy Perry was voicing Smurfette. Now, this version around, Rihanna's voicing Smurfette. I think it's a big difference.
You got pop singers voicing the same character.
No, but I feel like Katy Perry was more of a suitable role for Smurfette compared to Rihanna.
I mean, we're gonna see how well that she voices the character of Smurfette. But yeah, like I said before, I'm curious about the Smurfs movie. But I think the one thing to come out of Paramount that I'm the most hyped for is the Aang movie. Aang,
that's movie. Right. The Aang movie also is gonna come out as well.
It's what we've been waiting for, and it's Team Aang as fully grown adults.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, it is the continuation of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and it kind of shows like Zuko. Which, by the way, Dante Basco is gonna be Zuko. It's gonna be pretty sick.
He's the only one in the original cast reprising his role. The rest of the characters have different actors.
You know what I need back? The Cabbage Guy. My cabbages! I mean, he was there in the series. The Cabbage Guy is in the series.
He really was.
Yeah, he literally said, "My cabbages."
And you want to see? Well, since it's going to be a time skip, I kind of want to see Cabbage Guy Jr. When you see
my God.
When you see like the old man, the Cabbage Guy's this old man, and then you see the cabbage, like his son, the Cabbage Guy's a teenager.
Don't tell me the Cabbage Man is gonna be like, "Damn whippersnappers, my cabbages."
No, I mean like you got the cabbages all messed up again, and then the Cabbage Guy Jr. is like, "My cabbages," and then the Cabbage Guy, like his dad, is be like, Yeah, I've been there for years. This is nothing new to me.
God dang airbenders. Oh, by the way, in Fortnite, you can actually take care of those cabbages.
Yes.
Because, okay, so have you played Fortnite recently?
Not recently, but...
Okay, so do you know that there are cabbage carts, like, around Fortnite?
I actually haven't seen one.
Oh, you haven't? What? Oh, my God. Ugh.
I haven't played as much Fortnite as I used to. I get it. Please shoot me.
I just played yesterday. We did win a round. I was Toph. My friend Jerry.
Best character.
Friend Jerry was Katara, and I think my other friend Tom. He was Korra.
Okay, nice.
And then
you have best taste, good sir. You have best taste.
Yeah, and then what was it? My other friend, he was like was it Hades or something? No, we're not doing all Avatar, okay? No, but for real, I mean, if we're talking about Avatar, please play Fortnite. It's been fun recently with the Avatar stuff that's going around. Oh my gosh! But no, I mean, besides that, I mean, again, Paramount Pictures is doing well when it comes to their movies. If anything, Transformers 1 looks to be amazing. The animation looks great. Again, we'll be discussing more about that next week. So there's that. But then we also want to talk about. I didn't put up Disney, unfortunately, but we want to talk about Inside Out 2 because it turned out that for those who actually went to Cinemacon, they were treated to 35 minutes of the film. 35 freaking minutes of the film with Amy Poehler there to watch it too. What are your thoughts of the showcase of this anticipated sequel?
Let's just say that I envy each and every single person that got to see the 35 minutes of this showcase because I got to say this. Like, the first 25 minutes of Inside Out 2 was very well received, as expected. And even like Amy Poehler even described the movie herself as saying that it's very heartfelt, very emotional, very funny, and it leaves like a heartwarming message at the end.
Mm-hmm. If anything, you know what? Inside Out 2 looks to be like the promising Pixar film that looks to be great. I mean, it would be a great sequel if they did really good with that sequel compared to like Toy Story, because Toy Story does well with their sequels except for 4, but will it do well for Inside Out 2? And it is a great like movie to get with, considering that people grow up and motions change. You get to see a lot more motions in your brain compared to the usual 5 that you saw from Inside Out.
That's why I've always said that out of all the Pixar IPs, Inside Out is the one that warrants a sequel the most. Like, it's definitely the only Pixar IP that just absolutely needs a sequel.
It kind of feels like they need more. I mean, grown adults actually do have the 5 emotions as well, but as a teenager, I would imagine they will pop up, but they will go away. You know, it's something where it's like you will find anxiety, you will find envy, and all of this. They will probably go away after you grow up when you're 18 or something.
Yeah, and I think that's also where Inside Out 3 is going to come. If they were to make it Inside Out 3, make it sort of...
You think there might be one where she like graduates or something?
There might be one where she graduates and becomes a college student, and then she grows like into a young adult.
She becomes a young adult, yeah.
Yes.
Well, maybe. That could be like a great trilogy for Inside Out. That'd be great to see.
Yeah, but please keep it as a trilogy because from what we've seen in some other cases, 4 means they're past a prime.
How do you feel about Amy Poehler being Joy? Like, she loves being Joy. She even says a quote where I've played a lot of joyful characters over the years, but none of them means as much as Joy.
You know, from the way that she sounds very passionate about her role as Joy, and from the amount of excitable, bubbly, joyful characters she's played in the past, you could definitely see why she was casted to play as Joy. Like, she definitely embodies the role as Joy.
I think she definitely did a really good job as Joy for the first movie, and I would imagine she'd do a better job as Joy in the second movie. It is unfortunate that the rest of the cast for Inside Out 1 is not going to be in Inside Out 2. Everybody got replaced, by the way. Like, Fear is somebody. It's not Will Arnett, I think it was. I forgot who the voice was, but I know the original voice Fear is gone. I know that the original voice of Disgust is gone, Sadness is gone, and Anger is gone. So if anything, Amy Poehler still stuck it in there and still became the voice for Joy, and it still works out. It looks like everything's looking well for Joy in this movie.
They still voice, like, their voices still sound familiar. They still sound similar to the first movie despite the cast changes.
Yeah, well, let's see how it is, and I really hope they do really well when it comes to nailing the voices right, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. let's go back into. I forgot about Paramount because we also did want to talk about the crossover movie that's coming up, Transformers and G.I. Joe. What are your thoughts on having two franchises merged together for this movie?
The best way to describe it is that it's going to be a feast for the eyes for the 80s kids, because these two were popular IPs during the 1980s. So to see them have such a huge crossover movie, for them to have a huge crossover movie like this between the two popular 80s IPs, it's going to be really good for those that grew up with 1980s stuff like Transformers and G.I. Joe, alongside other stuff like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and whatnot.
You know what's kind of crazy? G.I. Joe did have movies before, like in the 2000s. Do you remember those?
Yeah, I've seen a bit of Rise of Cobra. I haven't seen Retaliation.
The G.I. Joe movies were okay. I know that some kind of faltered here and there. Transformers, you know how that went. Yeah, don't have Michael Bay make your movies. I don't know about the recent movies that came out without Michael Bay's director as a director, but I heard they're okay, a little bit decent. But it's weird because like when you see Transformers now, it's like a mess. Like Shia LaBeouf is not the main character anymore. It's like somebody else who's taking care of Bumblebee. Somebody is like some other robot is now being the main robot now. Again, it's just a mess right now about what Transformers is that I kind of like lost interest in the franchise. Yeah. But again, like we said before, Transformers 1 is something maybe we might actually get back to, but again, we'll discuss that next week.
Yeah, the problem is that now I'm sure Bumblebee and Rise of the Beast are good, enjoyable movies of their own, but the reason why it hasn't been viewed or as much as, it expected, or the reason why I haven't seen those is because I think it's because some of us, it's because of the Michael Bay fatigue. Like even though Michael Bay is not involved in those two movies, the reason why the live action we haven't seen those movies is because we got the fatigue of having to sit through like 5 live action Transformers movies directed by Michael Bay.
Yeah, and to be fair, like again, the lead character changed. Remember, after 3, Shia LaBeouf is not the lead character anymore. It's like some other person. So I get so confused of what Transformers is. I know it's supposed to be an action-packed film. That's why whenever it hits the summer blockbuster, whenever it hits the summer movie theaters, everybody wants to go out and see it. And I'm like, yeah, good luck you guys. I kind of like lost interest in it at all.
Yeah, no, it's not something that I would watch. But
also Saberspark too. Remember, there's also a new Transformers animated series, and that I guess is good. I don't know. I lost interest.
Yeah, I haven't really consumed much Transformers media, to be honest, aside from like 1 or 2 Transformers movies. So I'm not the Transformers expert, but like I will say that the Transformers, like Transformers 1 and like Transformers G.I. Joe, they do look promising to be worthwhile movies.
Mm-hmm. I also didn't. You also didn't put this here for Paramount Pictures, but did we talk about Ronin, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie that's coming out that's rated R?
We haven't.
Okay, so that's a new thing that got announced in Cinemacon, that there's a Ronin TMNT movie that is a rated R.
Yeah,
and you never expect that, huh? Because the last movie from TMNT was Mutant Mayhem, and that was good. But this time around, it's like, oh god, we're having a badass TMNT thing? Ooh.
Yeah, because TMNT usually goes the family-friendly route. It does get edgy here and there, but most TMNT media is family-friendly. So Ronin is definitely something that is, a surprise because it's a rated R TMNT.
Okay, so, I mean, if anything, Mutant Mayhem got me back into getting interested in TMNT. And FYI, Tales of the TMNT, the animated series, is coming out soon to Nickelodeon. That's coming out in the summer. And that's supposed to be the continuation of Mutant Mayhem. So, if you haven't watched Mutant Mayhem yet, have you watched it?
I actually haven't yet.
Oh, God. You're missing out on those movies, man.
I'm on culture. What can I say?
Wow. You just care more about Mario movies instead. Come on. And get something a little bit more roll on the ball here.
I know. It's like there are most IPs I'm into. TMNT for some reason hasn't been on my list.
Did you even see like the animation style of TMNT Mutant Mayhem? It looks very Spider-Verse like.
I will say, yeah, the animation style is very well done, and it is an animation style that I'm hoping to see in future TMNT projects. And from the way you said it, there's going to be future TMNT projects going to take that approach.
Yeah, well, like I said, the Tales of the TMNT series. Remember that's not animated the same way as the movie. It's absolutely animated differently. But I also noticed the voice actors from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie Mutant Mayhem are actually in the series too. So again, something good that TMNT is rolling with. Yeah, I know Rise of the TMNT was a great series, but it also did get cut because Nickelodeon's being stupid.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping they just don't cut TMNT because it's turning out to be really good. Mutant Mayhem, the Tales of the TMNT coming out this summer, and Ronin, which we never expected to have an R-rated film.
I know it's definitely a first in a long time. You didn't expect TMNT to go this route of radar TMNT. We were just like, whoa, it caught us by surprise.
I'll take it, to be fair.
Yeah. I'm actually interested in Ronin because I'm interested to see the direction they take with the characters in terms of making an R-rated story.
And then somebody else pointed out in our comments that there's also going to be a Paw Patrol movie coming out. Another Paw Patrol movie.
Okay, Paw Patrol movie, I'm just saying this right now.
We're
not the target audience.
You're not Bluey, okay? You gotta be as great as Bluey in order for me to watch that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we're not the target audience for Paw Patrol the movie, so we can't really say much about it.
I was gonna ask, why don't you watch Bluey? It's actually a fun show.
Bluey, I do see the appeal of it, and some of our friends.
I know it's supposed to be a preschool show, but it also does tackle some real life stuff.
Like I understand the appeal of Bluey, and I do have some friends of mine. We have friends of ours that are into Bluey, and I'm just like, I'm glad you enjoy it. I'm glad it's for you. Bluey's just something that, it's not a show that I will watch regularly. I
know. It's not supposed to be like a chronological order show. You just watch it randomly on Disney Channel and you like it.
Like I've seen just, a couple of episodes. I'm just like, I do see the appeal. It is a charming show, but it's not really one I would rank as one of my favorites.
Did you see recently how it broke the internet?
I've seen it break the internet, but I just haven't seen the actual episode.
No, I didn't see the actual episode yet, but a 30-minute episode of Bluey came out on Disney Plus, and everybody was talking about it and said it was the best episode. I'm like,
it blew up. It definitely blew up.
Everybody was saying it was the best episode of Bluey, and I'm like, well, I mean, I kind of looked at synopsis, and I'm like, dude, if Bluey actually ever, if you ever experienced what they did in that episode, I would imagine you'll be feeling like what Bluey did in that episode.
Yeah, it's just something that I gotta see out of curiosity because, like I said before, while I don't consider myself a Bluey fan per se, I do understand. I understand the appeal of it. I understand the appeal.
I'm not really a big fan myself. I don't watch it every day. I watch Big City Greets more every day than Bluey. But when it comes up on Disney Channel, if there's nothing else on, I'll put up Bluey and I'll see how wholesome it is.
Yeah, I will definitely. I'll definitely watch the more talked about episodes as to what the ones that tackle the more important subjects. I'll give my thoughts on those.
Just remember that the headliners for the convention is not Hazbin Hotel; it's the Bluey voice actors.
Yeah, and I do see why.
You're gonna have so many fans coming to SAC Anime.
Oh yeah, they're gonna all be in Bluey cosplayers, and I'm curious to see how they're gonna pull them off.
We have a friend of ours who actually does a Bluey cosplay.
Yeah, and what's amazing about how he does this, he does it painted.
Yeah, I know. He paints his face.
He paints his face, yeah.
And he actually has great outfits and stuff. And to be fair, I would imagine there'll be Bluey cosplayers in the conventions coming up. So, hey, guys, if you ever go to an anime convention this summer, please check out the Bluey cosplayers. There's probably tons of them.
Oh, yeah.
There'll be a Bingo. There'll be a Bluey. There'll be their mom and dad, too.
Not only that, but there'll probably be some fan art of Bluey being sold in artist alleys.
Oh, yeah, there probably is going to be a lot.
You know they're going to be.
You know what? Our House Amphibia fans, get to a freaking anime convention so I can buy your stuff. You don't draw that kind of stuff on an anime con. We see a lot more VTuber stuff instead. Yeah. But to be fair, I love VTubers. I mean, as long as you draw my favorite VTubers, then I'll pick up your stuff too.
Yeah, I do know that you're a big VTuber guy. So
yeah, I like a shark girl. I mean, look at my case. Look at my case. It says Gargura on it. Shark girl. Shark girl. All right. Besides Paramount and Disney, let's actually talk about the other studios that we missed out last week. And let's actually start off with a company that we never expected to actually see in Cinemacon, Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
What? An anime studio coming to a Cinemacon?
Yes.
What's your thoughts on having Crunchyroll out of all companies come to Cinemacon?
I want to say I'm surprised, but at the same time, considering how anime has become mainstream, especially nowadays, I honestly can't really say that I'm fully surprised.
I just was surprised because here's the thing. Sony Pictures was behind Crunchyroll being part of Cinemacon. And I'm kind of wondering, why didn't Sony Pictures actually present anything for this year's Cinemacon? Do they have nothing to present? I mean, Garfield movie is coming out and they're made by Sony Pictures. So what's happening?
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised he didn't show much.
Yeah, and so that's one thing. Now we're actually just going to be talking about anime. Like, oh, wait, Sony Pictures are just going to be bringing up anime? Okay. And if anything, I think it also does bring up the name Crunchyroll to the biggest heights now. Oh, is it a big Hollywood studio now? I don't think so.
Yeah, like Crunchyroll is pretty much the Hollywood of anime now.
I can't. Well, here's the thing. Like, Crunchyroll keeps on buying up all the companies. Hello. Funimation just got bought.
Funimation's no more now.
Funimation's gone. It is and it's actually a Crunchyroll thing.
Yeah, like Crunchyroll ate up Funimation.
Yeah, you know what's kind of weird? If we were to look back at the Crunchyroll Funimation merger that happened like many years ago when they actually partnered up, we didn't know that it actually would be a total takeover.
I know. I'm actually curious. Like, there should be some sort of documentary that goes into the relationship between Crunchyroll and Funimation.
There's tons of that in YouTube.
I kind of want to see that.
Yeah, there's tons of that in YouTube. Just go look it up, Funimation and Crunchyroll.
Noted.
Yeah, go ahead and check that out. But yeah, let's actually talk about Crunchyroll's big announcements. They actually announced 3 movies, and some of these movies are actually hit franchises. So if you're fans of Haiku, the volleyball anime, they did announce the new movie Haiku, the Dumpster Battle, which actually talks about the 2 rival teams, including Hinata's team and another person's team, and they're actually facing off in one final battle. This movie will be released on May 31st. I haven't seen Haikyuu in a while, but I know that there's so many fans of Haikyuu that are going to be watching this one. Just the fact that their boys are on the big screen.
Yeah, Haikyuu is definitely one of the most popular sports anime out there.
Yeah, compared to like Kuroko no Basket and Slam Dunk. But yeah, I mean, Haikyuu is huge. I mean, all the fangirls are definitely going to be watching it. I can imagine this becoming like a big hit, not as big hit compared to like Demon Slayer, but maybe like a big hit, like that will give revenue to Crunchyroll if anything.
Yeah, it's definitely a hit amongst like the sports anime genre. For sure.
Well, speaking of more sports anime, there is another sports anime movie coming out from Crunchyroll's block. Blue Lock, the movie episode Nagi, that comes out in June of this year as well. I'm not a big fan of Blue Lock, but I know it's a soccer anime. There are big fans of Blue Lock as well, so I'm assuming those fans are probably going to be looking there for their boys too.
Yeah, like I've watched a few episodes of Blue Lock, and I was thoroughly engaged by it, just by the fact of how it's a combination of soccer and battle royale. So think of it as like a combination of FIFA and Squid Game.
Yeah. Oh God. No one's dying. Okay. No one's dying in soccer. God damn.
Yeah, like I haven't caught up on the series, but from what I've seen, it is so epic. It's pretty awesome.
I have a feeling that this is like a side story, just because I don't know who Nagi is, but this looks to be another epic soccer match. Just putting out there.
Yeah, I actually gotta. Since Blue Lock doesn't have too many episodes, I gotta get to binge watching it before the movie comes out.
Right. And then last but not least, there's also a new movie that will be coming out from Crunchyroll, but we didn't have an announcement date just yet. If you remember the series Overlord, they are having a new movie come out from Crunchyroll called Overlord: The Sacred Kingdom. I'm not gonna say much because I don't know about that series.
I don't either.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of people that actually like the girls in the movie. Okay, you guys can keep your horniness down now. But if anything, again, Crunchyroll is releasing 3 new movies this year for the theaters. How do you like Crunchyroll's presence? Just the fact that they're actually going to announce movies to be coming into theaters.
I will definitely say this is a victory for anime as a whole, because like I said before, Crunchyroll presenting in the biggest convention for cinema and movies is actually quite a victory in and of itself, because it shows how far anime has come.
You know what, though? There's one thing that I also want to bring up. Where's the Spy Family movie? Did they at least say something about the Spy Family movie? You didn't do anything about it, guys.
It was never mentioned. I was kind of surprised at the fact they didn't mention Spy's Family movie, because, well, Spy's Family movie is out right now.
It's out right now, but then, remember, this came out like a couple weeks ago. Cinemacon came out a couple weeks ago. Why didn't they actually say something about Spy Family?
I don't know, man, but... But yeah, considering how Spy's Family has been released, like, sometime like after CinemaCon, like about 1 or 2 weeks after, yeah, I'm surprised that they announced like these few movies, but they didn't give Spy's Family the spotlight it deserved.
You know what, though? When it comes to like next year's CinemaCon, I would imagine Crunchyroll has like a lineup of movies coming out. Like they'll probably get like licenses from other like big franchises, like for example, My Hero Academia could probably have their new movie released by Crunchyroll. The next Demon Slayer movie could be released by Crunchyroll. Maybe a new future project movie could be released by Crunchyroll too. I think what I'm hoping for is another Attack on Titan movie coming from Crunchyroll. oh, there's 5 or 6 movies of Attack on Titan. I don't give a care. But Attack on Titan was an amazing series. and I will talk to the folks at the CaliCon blog to say this. I am not the problem. Attack on Titan is amazing, okay?
I think what will happen like next time, like next year's Cinemacon, is I think that Crunchyroll will present twice as much movies as they have this year's Cinemacon. I think they're going to show more movies.
This is like the start for Cinemacon for them. Who knows what other movies they'll be licensing, but remember, that's under their name. So if anything, these movies are released by Crunchyroll. Like, you'll see that in the credits. Crunchyroll's doing something big here, but if anything, I am proud for this company, even though they took away Funimation and make things a little bit more expensive.
Rip Funimation.
It could be something great for Crunchyroll, but we'll see as the future progresses for this company.
Yeah.
We
wish them the very best.
Next up, let's actually talk about Universal Studios. Yes, Universal Studios also did present themselves in Cinemacon, and they did show their movies. One big thing that was announced in Cinemacon is the fact that there is going to be a new Five Nights at Freddy's sequel coming out next year. Well, do you think they deserve the sequel, Five Nights at Freddy's? I
honestly, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I didn't care for the first one, so I feel like them putting out a Five Nights at Freddy's sequels. The moment I heard that they're making a sequel to it, I'm just like, they're going to be milking the franchise.
Okay, so I don't know how great the reviews were for Five Nights at Freddy's, but I heard some fans loved it, some fans hated it. But it was more towards the fans. It wasn't really more towards like the review critics or anything like that, because it was maybe if you were like watching it as a non Five Nights at Freddy's fan, you'll probably be there saying like this is a bad movie.
Yeah, honestly, like, more power to those that liked it, and especially more power to those that are Five Nights at Freddy's fans. But for me, as a non-Five Nights at Freddy's fan, as a moviegoer, I gotta say that the movie was written terrible.
Were you surprised the fact that there is a second movie for Five Nights at Freddy's?
I would say that I wasn't surprised because of the fact of how Five Nights at Freddy's is a big video game brand, and so with it being a big video game brand, they're bound to spawn like at least 2 or 3 more movies.
So I think was bound to happen. I think they did really well in the box office that they needed to make another movie. I mean, the fans love it. I'm assuming this is now another adventure with like the officer just trying to make sure everything's all staying in place in Freddy's. No, but I kind of think that it kind of deserves it. I may not be watching it considering the fact that it's like kind of a thriller horror film. The one thing I wanted to ask, I know that this game was actually meant for kids, considering like how much toys they got for it. Yeah. But this is not for kids. This movie's not for kids, guys. So
yeah, no, it actually goes the horror route.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you gotta have some traumatized kids after watching the movie. But no, you know what? They'll proud for them. Proud for Five Nights at Freddy's, and great that Universal's running it. We'll see how that goes in 2025. Other movies that also came out, Despicable Me 4 and Wild Robot. Despicable Me 4, Illumination's next film. We already discussed that. Quick summary. Are you still watching it? Are you still excited for the movie?
Despicable Me 4, I mentioned how I am curious to check it out, but I feel like Despicable Me 3 lost, its touch, the magic touch that the first 2 had. But I'm curious to see where Despicable Me 4 is going to go.
Again, the kids never grew up. Does it feel like the same Despicable Me 3 movie? That could be disappointing. That's my thoughts when it comes to
the kids never age. And the only thing new with Despicable Me 4 is the fact of how Gru has his first biological child.
That's it, yeah. And he has a child that apparently hates Gru. You can see, like, in the trailer, like, every time he sees like Gru's wife, he's happy, he's giggly, but when he sees Gru, he just has a mean face on.
I think the only interesting thing that I got out of Despicable Me 4 were, of course, the minions. They're always fun to watch, and also the villains voiced by Will Ferrell and Sofia Vergara. That's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm. If anything, I wish I had actually another Minions movie to like make the trilogy of the Minions movie finish. Like, how did Gru become one of the best villains? Because he just was a kid, but let's see him as a young man becoming a villain, you know?
Yeah, like Gru having a teenage Gru would be much more interesting than having a fourth child with a family that never grew.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I mean, this is just quite interesting. This movie 4 comes out this summer. Wild Robot, the next DreamWorks film. We already discussed this a little bit, but again, the animation looks great compared to like Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. It is coming out later on this year. Again, quick thoughts on Wild Robot.
Quick thoughts. I already stated before when I saw the trailer, I'll say it again. Very hyped for Wild Robots. I feel like this is going to be one of DreamWorks Animation's strongest movies by the fact of how it's a fish out of water story done very well with its own fresh take on it. And also the fact of it's a robot trying to learn the ways of nature with animals and stuff.
I say that this looks to be DreamWorks' next big hit. Yes, Kung Fu Panda 4, we reviewed it last week. That was terrible.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
This, I just hope this actually lifts DreamWorks off its like bad stuff. I know that DreamWorks is in a bad rut right now. The fact that they have fired a couple of folks at DreamWorks. They're laying off people. Let's just hope this movie actually lift everything up for DreamWorks, and it seems promising with the fact that DreamWorks has a great film with Wild Robot coming up. I like the graphics. I love the cast. I don't know about. I've only just shown a teaser. We just never know what the story is about. But again, we'll see a possible trailer come out maybe during Despicable Me 4. Let's actually talk about two other movies coming out in Universal's timeline. Wicked, for example. It's the musical Wicked, and it's supposed to be like a prequel story before Dorothy went to the Land of Oz.
And it's based on the musical as well. Like a Wicked,
you hear the songs, right? Yeah.
So we've been waiting for. I'm also surprised that a Wicked movie adaptation only came now. I'm surprised it didn't come earlier because the fact of how Wicked was one of those hit Broadway musical shows. But from what I've seen in like the Super Bowl trailer, it looks like something that could be promising, but it could go like either one or two ways. It could end up being really good, like stay faithful to like the musical show, or it could end up being a cash grab to Wicked. But
you know what?
It could go either direction.
I haven't seen the play, and if anything, this movie will give me first impressions of what the play would be. I mean, I haven't seen Les Mis, but I want to watch the play Les Mis after watching the movie.
Yeah.
So, if anything, this hopefully will give me a first impression of like what Wicked the musical was going to be if you ever watch it like in Broadway or in San Francisco. But I mean, I like the cast, by the way. They had Ariana Grande be a part of this movie. I think she's the Wicked Witch of the West, I believe. She's not the evil witch. She's the good witch. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I actually like that because she sings really well. I don't know. I forgot the actress who's doing the Wicked Witch of the East, which is the evil witch, I believe. But again, both of them are great singers. I can see them both do a really good job singing in Wicked. And if the story does do well and all the graphics that I've been seeing look great, this could be a hit movie for Universal, especially for a musical like this.
It's got the potential. It's just got to live up to it.
Yeah, I think it'll be great. And then we have this movie called Nosferatu. No, not relating
Nosferatu.
Not relating towards the SpongeBob movie, guys. But this Nosferatu movie is supposed to be a retelling of the hit horror film like back in like the 60s or 70s.
Yeah, so it's pretty much a return to a classic character like Nosferatu. It's been like decades since we've seen this horror character, like this character Nosferatu. Mm-hmm. And the last I've seen, the only time I ever saw Nosferatu was, in the SpongeBob movie, Call Me All Culture, but that's how I even heard of Nosferatu in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, Nosferatu, to be fair, a horror film makes me not want to watch a movie like that. But if it, I'm not gonna relate SpongeBob to Nosferatu, the real life Nosferatu. Yes, he's a kind of evil guy. No, I must say Nosferatu is probably something I will not watch. But for those who are like interested in those horror films, hey, good luck with y'all. Go ahead and check it out. Yeah. We forgot about WB because we want to talk about the WB movies as well. Let's just go down the list here. remember they have a brand new Beetlejuice movie coming out from WB.
Beetlejuice.
It relates back to like the '90s Beetlejuice. But how are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about Beetlejuice coming back for a new movie?
Yeah, the Beetlejuice movie. My initial thoughts on the Beetlejuice movie are, I'm wondering. Like I said, just like with Wicked, it could go one or two ways when it comes to like a sequel to a classic that came out years ago. It could end up being like, a really good, faithful sequel to the original movie, or it could end up being like a movie that is just there to bank on the classic character like Beetlejuice. Either or. But I will say, though, I like the dynamic between Winona Ryder and Jenna Ortega. Jenna Ortega is in this
That's
movie.
right. Jenna Ortega is the girl. I forgot her name.
What was she the daughter?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
she was forgetting like what her name was.
Then again, like I do see the resemblance. So
I can only see. I mean, the fact that she was in Wednesday and she did a great job at Wednesday, she could probably do that girl that always summons Beetlejuice. To do the same thing. I think that's promising. It looks great from all the pictures that we saw from the announcements of Cinemacon. So that's something to look forward to. We didn't talk about this recently, but the movie's coming out soon. Furiosa, Mad Max Saga. Your thoughts on that movie?
Now, Mad Max Fury Road is one of my favorite movies of 2015. It's one of the best ones. So them having a movie centered around a character and the best character, Max Fury Road, as Furiosa, I look at this and I think to myself, we're in for another wild ride.
Well, you have Anna Taylor-Joy, not Princess Peach. If she's Princess Peach, it's a badass Princess Peach in this case.
This is a Princess Peach that became even more badass. Like,
no, I didn't know Anna Taylor-Joy can actually act like that. Like, she's just a voice of Princess Peach, and I was thinking like, oh, Anna Taylor-Joy being Peach, oh, she's cute, blah blah blah.
She was also badass in that movie.
But I didn't know that she actually could be badass in real life. Like, holy crap! Like, from the way that I saw her grow. Like, in the movie, she does grow up. Like, she starts off here, then she grows up, then she becomes a rebel from that one Mad Max team. And the fact that she cuts her hair and she becomes more badass like that, I'm like, okay, she's pretty sick.
Which, it is Anya Taylor-Joy's, trademark. She has been known to pull off really fierce, badass characters at fierce, badass moments. Like how from the brilliant chess master in Queen's Gambit to oh my god, like her ending, the ending in the movie, The Menu, was pure badass acting.
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen them, so you know Anna Taylor-Joy more, I guess.
Yeah, so I will say, like, Anya Taylor-Joy was definitely fit to play the character.
One movie I also want to point out is called Mickey 16. It has Robert Pattinson in the movie. Plus, the notable fact about this movie is that the director of Parasite is working on this movie. Hearing that, are you going to be interested in Mickey 16?
Okay, like a combination of Robert Pattinson as an actor and
don't think of him as Twilight, okay? Forget about his role in Twilight.
Remember,
he's Batman now, okay?
No, he's past Twilight, thankfully. He's doing more independent films and he's doing Batman.
Yeah.
So Robert Pattinson has become, better named actor, thankfully. And that, and also the combination of the director of Parasite, when you combine it together, it is a match made in heaven.
I have a feeling like it's gonna be a huge thriller, like what Parasite was in that movie. That was a huge thriller itself. But now you have Robert Pattinson being the lead character in that movie. Like sign me up. He's doing really good stuff after being the best director. So
you got masterful acting on Robert Pattinson's part. You got masterful directing on Bong Joon-ho's part. So when you combine the two together, I'm gonna say this right now, it's gonna be one of the best films of the year. I'm predicting.
Really? Okay, that's saying something. But I'll check it out. I might actually like hold to my seat about it, considering how freaking scared I was in Parasite. God damn.
Oh yeah.
It was like hella thrilling. I'm like, shit.
Yeah, there were some moments in Parasite that do catch you by surprise. It's like,
yeah,
Bong Joon-ho masters those kind of scenes.
It worked out. He's trying to be like that Jordan Peele,
but better.
Yeah. Oh, he's better than Jordan Peele. Yes.
Way better.
I do want to bring up this movie called Trap. It's an M. Night Shyamalan movie. But I saw the trailer already, and the trailer looks interesting because it was okay. So the thing was, it's a concert. Like, you see it's a dad and a daughter going to a concert, but outside the doors, they're trapped by security guards. And then now it's just more of a psychological thriller, like how the hell do you get out? Everybody's having a fun time in a concert, but the dad is like, why am I trapped here? How do I get out? So I know M. Night Shyamalan had a bad rep just because he made Avatar: Last Airbender, but he's still making movies, guys. I
still want an apology for that, M. Night Shyamalan. I still want an apology for that. Anyway, go ahead.
I to be fair, like, could this be like a good thing for M. Night Shyamalan to come back to? I know he's more towards like thrillers like that.
I'm gonna say this right now. When it comes to thriller films, when it comes to M. Night Shyamalan's movies, they do tend to be hit or miss. Usually miss because when it comes to plot twists, M. Night Shyamalan's plot twists aren't as well constructed as some other movie directors. Like the twists that he comes up with are more out of left field. If you catch my drift.
What a twist.
What a twist.
What a twist. Yeah, some of the twists that comes up in this movie, they just come out of random. Like, oh, you're anticipating it, and then you anticipated it. So it's like, it is coming. The way that he kind of reflects twists is not as great compared to, like, Bong Joon-ho from Parasite. Yeah. Mm-hmm. If anything, again, like, the trailer looks interesting. I don't know. I might see it. We'll see how that goes.
I'm going to wait to see what the reviews are like.
Yeah. No, I understand. And last but not least, from WB, we have to go to the DC side. And DC will be releasing a brand new Joker film. It will have the regular Joker. I forgot his name.
Joaquin Phoenix is the Joker, and Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn.
Yes. So that kind of intrigued me. The fact that Lady Gaga, out of all people, will be Harley Quinn. So how excited are you for Joker for the Deuce?
As a huge fan of Joker 2019, it's definitely one of my favorite comic book based movies ever, like top 3. I am definitely going to say this. While I prefer that the Joker 2019 is a solo movie because, it's too much of a masterpiece to get a sequel, what they pull off in the trailer is actually quite engaging to see because of how they capture the love, the romance between the two.
Yeah, because I think that's canon. Harley Quinn and Joker is supposed to be like a thing. I kind of look back at like how Joker was. Yes, he's a messed up guy, and you see like all the scenes that happened in Joker that got really screwy. That's the reason why he's in jail. But when you saw the trailer, you get to see Lady Gaga, out of all people, like come in to help bust him out of jail, and then those two are going to wreak havoc in Gotham City.
And that's the kind of thing that Arthur, like this Joker, really needed because Joker 2019, he felt alone. Like he felt broken. He felt betrayed in some cases.
That's why. Well, the thing is that it also tackles mental health.
Yeah.
And this Joker did have like a messed up mind.
It tackles mental health very well, but I'm saying you definitely got to feel for the poor guy in the original movie, which is why like this movie, like the sequel movie, like made me so happy for Joker here because he got something he needed in his life.
You know what I've been noticing recently too? The Joker movie, first one was absolutely dark and just like the movie that portrays like Joker just feels so different compared to the other like times you see Joker, like for example, The Dark Knight, Suicide Squad, but I don't want to talk about that. Those kind of Jokers that I want to bring up. And then you get to see the Batman with Robert Pattinson, and that was also dark. Like, oh my god, like I never expected like this to be so, like this version of the Batman being so like dark and engaging to say. It isn't like Christopher Nolan, what he did with The Dark Knight, for example. Like that felt more like intense, but also like a little bit more joyous or something. It's not too intense compared to like what the Batman is doing. Now we're getting to see Joker for the Deuce, and I have a feeling like it's gonna get more darker for the Joker. Like, oh, he's messed up. He's in jail. Now you have another person who's also messed up too. Yeah. And she likes, I mean, if you know about Harley Quinn and Joker, they both like it. Well, Harley Quinn has an absolutely obsessive love for Joker. Who knows how that'll go, knowing the fact that Lady Gaga, who can like act really good. Yeah. She can probably do a really good Harley Quinn.
Yeah, Lady Gaga is not only a masterful singer, but she's also quite a masterful actress as well. Like I never forget her performance in A Star Is Born.
Oh, she was great in Star Is Born, yeah. But no, I mean, I do think this movie will be a really awesome movie to watch. If anything, I hope this actually brings up DC. I know that DC has like a big bad run of like movies. Aquaman definitely was not great.
Well, see, here's the thing. Batman movies, the best kinds of Batman movies are the ones that are not under DCEU. Like the ones that are standalone Batman movies, like Batman 2022, Joker 2019, the Christopher Nolan trilogy that came before the DCU.
To be fair, they have the DC name in it.
No, but like the DCEU, DC Extended Universe is what I mean.
Oh, so it's like something not Batman. Is that what you're trying to say?
Like something that is not DC Extended Universe are the best Batman movies.
Okay, I'm confused. Like, what are you talking about?
Like, how DC Extended Universe, there's Batman v Superman, there's Suicide Squad, there's like Justice League, and all that stuff. And then the ones that are not DC Extended Universe are the Christopher Nolan trilogy, Batman 2022, Joker 2019.
So you just want to say keep it simple, Batman. Because what you're saying is that all the Batman collaborations with other DC heroes end up becoming bad.
They end up becoming inferior in comparison.
I guess, yes.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, like, they are changing up the Batman. You have Robert Pattinson as, Bruce Wayne now.
Yeah.
It's not Ben still... No. It's not, what's his name? The Batman that we see recently?
The DCU?
Yeah.
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck, yeah. It's not Ben Affleck.
Yeah, it's not Ben Affleck. It's someone I would say is even better than Ben Affleck, because Robert Pattinson does pull off the role as the Dark Knight.
Yeah, because then again, he also does like dark characters. Like, okay, yes, I always say the performance of Twilight makes him look dark, like makes him look like a very like sad, emo kid to say. And in the Batman movie, he felt kind of that emo person too.
Yeah, I think that Batman is also what helped elevate his career.
Oh, it did. It definitely did.
Like, it's not just the independent movies that he starred in way after Twilight. It's also Batman 2022 that elevated his career to tenfold.
Yeah, and it worked out because it was a good movie. So,
and thus it also spawned a sequel as well.
Yeah, I can't wait for that too.
Yeah.
But we don't know when WB will announce that. But no matter what, I mean, WB, even though they went through this hardship of like letting go of all these great movies and stuff, I feel like they're on the rise again. Like, if you've been recently seeing what they're bringing out on Max, there's some good stuff in Max now. Like, Quiet on Set, for example.
Yeah, and so you could say The Dark Knight Rises, pun intended.
Okay. So you say WB Rises in this case.
Yeah.
We'll go quickly to one more studio, Lionsgate. They announced 3 new movies. Borderlands is one that is based off the video game, and it had some had some like notable celebrities, including Jamie Lee Curtis. Your thoughts on a Borderlands movie?
I haven't played any of the Borderlands games, but I will definitely say I'm still curious to check out Borderlands regardless.
Yeah, I'll check it out too. Again, for Jamie Lee Curtis, that's one thing. It looks pretty intense. I haven't played the Borderlands games a lot, to be fair, but for those who play Borderlands, I would imagine you guys will probably be excited for it, but we'll see.
Yeah.
There is now a new John Wick spin-off movie called John Wick Presents Ballerina. Well, do you expect it to be more badass? I know that Keanu Reeves will not be in this movie. Maybe he might show an appearance here and there, but this is not about John Wick. It's about another person this time. Yeah,
as a John Wick fan myself, I am definitely looking forward to seeing this movie. Now, whether or not this will live up to the original 4 movies, time will tell. But needless to say, Ballerina does have the potential to work as one of the better spin-off movies of original movies.
You know what, though? There have been a lot of things about John Wick. Like, I know that in Peacock, they have a brand new series that is in the world of John Wick. You know, the group, The Continental? Mm-hmm. So there is a show called The Continental in Peacock. So I would imagine there's like other agents in The Continental that are like doing their own missions here and there. But this time we're actually focusing on one person that's in The Continental that's also having like John Wick moves or having some John Wick missions or something like that. So maybe somebody killed her dog, and that's the reason why she's going to be in the lead role.
Yeah, the moral of John Wick is you never kill someone's puppy.
Yep. Or else you are going to have a lot of kick-ass, badass moments here.
Or else you're going to get, stabbed with a pencil.
All right, and then last but not least, there is a brand new biopic that got announced from Lionsgate called Michael, which is a Michael Jackson biopic. It is going to be a pretty much documentary series a documentary movie that will talk about the life and times of Michael Jackson, the hit singer, to all the hardships that happened with Michael Jackson.
More like biopic.
What do you mean biopic? Is this supposed to be like something like Bob Marley?
It's going to be someone portraying the role as Michael Jackson.
Okay, so it's like Bob Marley. right?
Yeah.
Okay, so your thoughts on a biopic like Michael Jackson, when you have somebody portraying Michael Jackson going through all of his like career, being from the Jackson 5 all the way to his like pinnacle of his career to all the hardships that happen afterwards.
You know, whether it be for the better or the worse, Michael Jackson is one of those interesting, musical icons to really talk about. Like, Michael Jackson was definitely one of the biggest icons in music history, especially pop music. So, yeah, Michael Jackson has definitely been through a lot, whether it be for better or for worse. So I feel like the movie's going to really tackle upon, like you said, like his ups, his downs, his heights, his, lows. And I can't wait to see how they'll pull it off.
Yeah, I wonder if, like, I would imagine, like, they go through all the big history moments that happened for Michael Jackson. Again, like, him being in the Jackson 5 with his brothers and sisters, and then having his own solo career. How did he end up? Well, I know that what happened, how he ended up actually changing his skin was because of what happened with his hair. I would imagine they'll have that big scene happen there. Again, like, there's some big notable moments for Michael Jackson, and I think this would be a good hit movie for Lionsgate. So I can't wait to check it out. It all depends on like who the actors are, who's going to be what's going to be portrayed in the biopic, and it could be a hit movie to say.
Could be.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, if anything, that pretty much wraps up all the things that we talked about for Cinemacon. Again, a lot of big movies from all these amazing companies. Like, all of these amazing companies coming out. So, if anything, look forward to a great 2024 and 2025 season of movies.
Yeah, there's going to be a whole lot of entertainment coming your way.
Yes, it's going to be great. So, it's great to be a part of the movie theaters right now. Again, hit movies coming out here and there. So, grab your popcorn, grab your drinks. You're in for a fun ride in the theaters.
Yeah, I'm so glad that we got to complete our discussion of Cinemacon. Like, as of now, our Cinemacon, discussion is officially complete.
Yeah. Sorry that I was sick last week, okay? And that's pretty much it for our episode of the Anination Podcast. Again, for those who are watching on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also hit the bell button so you'll be notified when we'll be on. We always publish a brand new episode every Wednesday here live on the Anination Podcast YouTube channel. Also follow us on Twitch. Oh, sorry, not Twitch. We don't do Twitch anymore. I forgot.
No, man. Like, Anination and Twitch don't mix
Twitch.
anymore.
Dead is Twitch.
Twitch
Twitch
is old.
dead. Yeah, Twitch is dead. Make sure you follow us on X, Twitter, and also follow us on Instagram as well.
Yeah, and we just want to say to those who are watching, thank you all so much for listening to what we have to say, and we thank you so much for your support.
But until then, we'll see you guys next week for a brand new episode of the Anination Podcast. But until then, you guys have a great night, and we'll see you guys next week. See ya.
Stay awesome. Have a good night.
Guys. Bye.
Thank you.